distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
That's right. That there, lovely voice that you just heard was my good thing, my side piece, my baby mama, my girlfriend, my mistress, my wifestress, my baby and forever girl, my wife. Shout out to you, baby, if you're watching. I don't know if you sleep or not, but yeah. All right, so here we go. This is the first time you, first time me. We're going to check this out together, and we're going to really see where this thing goes and where it takes off to. Before that, click the like button right now. Click the share button. Tell your friends to come over and see this shit. This is good quality content here. We're breaking down the R. Kelly Chronicles. The saga continues. The drama. It's all right here. Let's do this. All right. Thank you so much. There you go. That's what I want to see. I already did. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, it's on. All right, look. I just can't. It's so hard for me. Why do they dramatize this shit? Like, you would really think like these were, if you didn't know no better, and most of the people that are watching this, they know better, which is why I love doing this. If you didn't know no better, you would really think that these were some real straight up victims. If you didn't hear anything about them, you didn't know any of the story, if you just listen to the music and the way they got these hoes sitting down, you would be like, oh, this is gonna be so tragic. Do you hear that music, that somber piano playing? It's just, and they're sitting down like they're getting ready to tell the story of a lifetime. Like we were walking home from Bible study, and this van pulled up, and 5 dudes jumped out, and they put chloroform over my face, and the next thing I know, they were dragging me into a van. The next thing I knew, I woke up with one of them on top of me. That's what you expect to hear the way that this came on. Just listen.
I was the first girl.
Am I not lying? Aren't you expecting like something real tragic to take place? Shout out to the goddamn production team on this shit, because they really are drumming this shit up. They are like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a cutaway of this. We're going to have this come on, and then we're going to... All right, I got to stop, because we got quite a bit to go through, so let's go.
And nobody believed me. And after that, it continued to happen again and again and again.
Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that show? It was not really a show. It was like a movie called The Faces of Death. Do y'all remember that? I mean, it's old. You could probably, I don't even know if you can even download that or find it, but it's like The Faces of Death. This reminds me of something like that. They should just call this The Faces of Hoes. That's what they should just, if somebody who's never known, like, what is a hoe? And you just be like, well, I really can't describe. Well, just watch this. You want to know what a hoe is? What does a hoe look like, Dad? Here you go, son. Sit down and watch this. These are just some of the common faces of whores. If you just want to know what a hoe is, somebody who's just out fucking random, who's just fucking anybody just for the sake of fucking, this is what it is. This is what a hoe is. Watch it. Just look at the face. This is what they could look like, okay? Common hoes. Here we go.
I was the first girl. And nobody believed me. And after that, it continued to happen again and again and again.
Oh my God.
We're grown girls, but we're still little girls that cry silently.
We're grown girls, but we're still little girls that cry silently. And look, let me tell y'all why I'm laughing at this shit. For those of you who ain't seen this, it's because you would think that these ladies were captives. You would think that they were dragged and off the streets. You would think that they were literally forced into this situation that they're in. That is not the case. All of these hoes were there for the perks. They were there for the money. They was there for the fame. They was there for the notoriety. They were literally groupies that sought this man out. Literally. They are literally groupies that were looking, they were going after this dude. And that's my biggest problem with this. You talking about, and to me, why I really like making fun of these hoes is because they do real victims a true disservice. There are some women, there's some little girl, there's some young lady who is getting dragged into an alley, getting dragged into a car, is being assaulted at some party, is getting her drink spiked, is getting put on drugs, is getting trafficked right now. I said trafficked. It's being a victim of human trafficking right now, where they are being forced, where it's somebody literally beating their ass and making them do shit. They are literally drugging them up on purpose so that people can come by and have sex with them. And I think that this is a slap in the face to all of the real victims that are out there. This is a bunch of bullshit and fuckery, and it's literally just a bunch of women trying to take down this dude because they not trying to help somebody. They want something in return. Attention, money, fame, notoriety, book sales, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's what they're doing. So yes, I will continue to laugh at these hoes. The only girl that I gave any leeway to was the 14-year-old girl that was on the camera, because she got served up by her parents and her auntie. All the rest of these grown bitches that went after him, I have no shape, form, or fashion any type of sympathy for them. Or empathy, or sympathy, empathy, pimpathy, whatever you want to call it, I ain't got nothing for them. Because this is an atrocity to have somebody play victim that went looking for the boogeyman. How the fuck do you go and call for Candyman, and then when he showed the fuck up, now you like, no, Candyman? And Candyman like, bitch, you was in the mirror. You said my name 3 times. Here I am with this hook so I can And then when I show up, you like, no, time out. No, you go looking for Candyman, that's one thing. You get your dumb ass in the mirror and you call his name, and when he show the fuck up in that long ass motherfucking wool coat that motherfucker wear, don't be mad now. Don't be mad now. That's all I'm saying. These women went looking for this dude. They went after this dude. These hoes was 16, 17, 35, 32, 38. They was all knowingly going after this guy for sex, for a record deal, for studio time, whatever the case may be. They went after this man, y'all. It ain't like one girl was when I see the story of the girl who says, I was in Rock and Roll McDonald's and I was purchasing a Happy Meal before I went home because I just left the library and I wanted to get myself a Happy Meal. And that's when Robert came up to me and told me he'd give me a ride home. And then he drove me to Atlanta and put me in the black room. When I hear that story, then I'm like, okay. But you're not going to hear that story. You're not going to hear that story. These people knew what he was doing. They knew what they was on. That girl right there, she was actually bringing girls to the studio because she was one of his, she got to dance with him. She used to go and find her friends and be like, come on, girl, we going to the studio. That nigga was the Pied Piper, and this was one of the rats that was following him. And she was Pied Pipering for the Pied Piper, getting other rats to come to the motherfucking cheese hut or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Chicago Tracks. That's what it was. I'm telling y'all, this is it. And my thing is this. You want to tell your story? Fine. But Lifetime should be ashamed of themselves because they should be telling the story of real girls that are being abused. Lifetime should be telling the story of the real victims that are actually the women that are getting physically dragged across borders, dragged out their backyards, dragged out of grocery stores, whatever the case. Do a documentary on that instead of a bunch of old hoes who ain't got no money, broke as shit, and see an opportunity for a come up and some likes on their pages.
If you weren't there, you'd never understand it.
Look at this shit. And they drumming it up too. He said, I don't see any white women in that bunch. Here's the thing about white women. And like I said, I'm gonna call a thing a thing. Here's the thing about white women. There are plenty of white girls who are underage, 15, 16, 17, that go out not after R. Kelly per se, but after all of the movie stars, all of the rock stars, all of the alternative rock stars, all of the guys that are celebrities. And you know what they do? They know what it is. They know what it is. They understand, yes, I want to go sleep with whoever. I want to go sleep with Elvis. Yes, I know I'm 13. They don't go back and do this bullshit. Think about it like this. The biggest Pied Piper of them all, and I know some of y'all are thinking, Harvey Weinstein. No fucking way. Does anybody know who the biggest Pied Piper of all of this shit is? That ain't nobody talking about? I'll give you about 10 seconds to give me to somebody knows who the king of all of this shit is. All of these girls that are so-called underage, I want you to know, just think about who y'all think the king is. My man Billy Goat Gruff, gold star for you, Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner, Playboy Mansion. He not only was getting these young girls, he was facilitating the sex parties. He had a huge fucking estate in California for these hoes. And nobody said a thing. He had a fucking magazine nobody tried to take down. He did fucking movies nobody tried to get rid of. His fucking daughter is running Playboy right now to this day and ain't nobody said shit. Stop me when I'm lying. Just say, hey, Brian, shut the fuck up. You're lying now, dude. Shut your lying ass up. That's all I'm telling you. This dude here was straight up the Pied Piper of all young pussy in America. It was the capital of young pussy in America. You young, you got a pussy, you go to Hugh Hefner's house. All of the actors, all of the who's who in Hollywood for decades. Not 2 years, not 3 years, not 10 years, decades. They all went there. They all hung out there. Young girls who wanted to be in show business, who wanted to be in the limelight, who wanted to be around stars, they left their homes in Idaho. They left their homes in Nebraska. They left their homes in Chicago, in Florida. They left and they hopped on a Greyhound and went to the mansion just to become something. Maybe I'm cute enough. Maybe if I suck enough, maybe if I fuck enough, I can get noticed too. Maybe one day I can sleep my way into a centerfold. That's all I'm saying. That's the truth. So this isn't some phenomenon that just now everybody in America is waking up to. They all knew it. Everybody played a part in it. There are plenty, there's just documented stories about stars and celebrities spending weekends and weeks at the Playboy Mansion. What the fuck do you think they were doing there? Holding camera lights? Helping and assisting with the photo shoots? Oh wait, Hugh Hefner had the only pool in Cali. So we go to Hugh Hefner's house to swim. Oh wait, Hugh Hefner has a grotto. I ain't never had no grotto before. Never seen a grotto. So I'm gonna go stay at Hugh Hefner's house for 2 weeks just to experience the grotto. No. They went there because they were fucking young girls. And young girls were there because they wanted to fuck celebrities. That's exactly, it was the like you had the New York Stock Exchange, you had the Celebrity Pussy Exchange, the Celebrity Business Exchange was right there at Hugh Hefner's house. There was all types of currency and transactions going on. You want to be in this movie? Get on your knees. You want to be in this part? Lay down. You want to take over and be the next biggest thing in Hollywood? Well, bend over and take this dick. That's what they did. And you ain't seen none of them playmates come back and talk shit, have you? They were helping to lie about their age. Early on, it wasn't even thought about. It was nothing for a 17-year-old girl to do a photo shoot at the Playboy Mansion. And let's just think about it like this. Think about all of the ones we've seen, not all of the ones that have been shot. Think of all of the Playboy centerfolds that have been published, not even talking about the ones that didn't make the cut.
Robert, how do you feel? Look at you on the tape.
14 years old. I met R. Kelly when I was 14. When I met him, I was 17.
A lot of people saw that P-tape. It was circulating.
And this is my other problem with this. You got these motherfucking stars and celebrities like John Legend, like Dame Dash. All these niggas now got something to say. Now, here's my thing. Y'all motherfuckers, especially Dame Dash was out back when Aaliyah was actually fucking around with Jay-Z and him. Didn't know that, did you? Yeah. Aaliyah was first fucking with Jay-Z. Didn't know that, did you? So don't make it seem like, and let me tell you, I love Aaliyah. 1 in a Million album, Off the Chain. I do. One of my favorite songs is At Your Best, the remix. When I feel like I feel. I'm telling you, I love the song. I love her music. But Aaliyah was a whore. She was getting it in. She was fucking some of everybody. Real talk. Lazy eye, hair swoop over the face and all. She was getting it cracking. So don't make it seem like she was just some innocent girl. Now, was she served up by her mother, her father, and her uncle to R. Kelly? Absolutely, totally. Because they wanted the deal. He was the hottest nigga in R&B at that time. He made her. The only one he's ever done. She is the only artist that he has ever just literally said, I'm putting you on and you're going to be a star because of me. Sparkle ain't no goddamn star. Sparkle could go to the Golden Globes and the motherfucker wouldn't know who the fuck she was. They think she was there to serve drinks. Ain't none of these other motherfuckers that done ever been connected with R. Kelly, that done ever did music with R. Kelly. Aaliyah is the only one. So while the rest of these hoes thought that they was going to get to be the next Aaliyah and he's never done it before, never did it again, I have no clue. Except you got what you fucked for. Wasn't a career, just some dick. That's all I'm saying.
In the streets.
She was actually 14.
And he's urinating on her in her mouth.
Jurors found him not guilty on all charges.
He was not thought of as guilty, even though the evidence was there.
Now, for those of you who don't know, you know why he was found not guilty? When he was in the video with that 14-year-old girl, you know why? Because the girl wouldn't testify. You know why? Because the parents wouldn't testify. You know why? Because the parents and the girl were on holiday. They were over in the fucking UK when all this shit was going on. You know why? Because R. Kelly paid them a fuck ton of money to live their life. Hey, I'm steady fucking your daughter, so live your life. Hey, I'm gonna give you some money. Just don't testify. Hey. Now you see, I'm on the tape, but you won't testify. Now you see, they got me in court. Just tell them you don't want no parts of it. Live your life. Hey. Don't come to court and testify. Live your life. Hey. I got $250,000 to live your life. Hey. That's what they did. Them motherfuckers didn't want no parts of it. They was like, no, we good. We don't know what you're talking about. That ain't her. The girl said, that ain't me. But we got you right here on tape. That ain't me. Mom, Dad, this is your fucking daughter getting pissed on and pissed in the mouth. That ain't her. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Y'all fools can't judge me. Jigga Kelly not guilty. Say you can't judge me. Say you can't judge me. You Kelly not guilty. Y'all fools can't judge me. That's it. The parents didn't want no parts of it. They didn't. So it's like the parents didn't want no parts of it. The girl didn't want no parts of it. What does that tell you? That tell you that they knew what it was and they were okay with it. Ain't nobody trying to chase down the Demi Moore's mama. She sold her daughter for $500. Where's the prosecuting attorney at chasing her? Where's her investigation at? She ain't even went to court. She ain't even had charges filed. Oh, but that's okay. Ain't nobody went after Priscilla Presley's parents. They let her marry Elvis Presley at 13. So that means he knew and was fucking up by at least 12. I'm just telling y'all what this really is. And we have this thing in our own community. Black folks, we got this thing to where we don't want to call out this fuck shit when we see it happening across the street, down the street, over on the other block, by our uncles, our brothers that's doing this same shit here. And those parents be cool with it. I keep telling y'all, I know somebody in my neighborhood when I was a kid that was literally fucking a grown-ass man, an old grown-ass man, for some Jordans because he had money, because he was a drug dealer. He was literally paying off the family. Yeah, I'll buy y'all some shoes. I'll get y'all some pizza. I'll do this for y'all. Spending chump change on them just because he wanted to fuck the little girl. She was beautiful in the motherfucker, but that's what they did, and they was cool with it. 13. Ain't nobody say shit. Not nan adult in that neighborhood said a goddamn thing. Not nan adult in that household said a goddamn thing. And you talking about 13 years old riding around with this old grown-ass nigga. And ain't nobody do shit. But now, Kels, we got to get him. Okay. Then let's get everybody. If we going to get to getting, let's get all of the people.
Kelly got up trial. I do the interview. He was very nervous.
Do you like teenage girls?
When you say teenage, how are we talking?
Singer R. Kelly.
18. Teenage. 17. Teenage. 16. Teenage. Now, they spent the shit like it was a fucked up question or a fucked up response, but when he said teenage, how do you mean?
Kelly has denied repeated claims of sexual misconduct, but now some of his alleged victims are speaking out in a powerful new docuseries.
Surviving R. Kelly was trending at #1 on Twitter during its debut.
The whole thing was eye-opening, painful, sad, disappointing.
Man, how complicit we all have been.
I was extremely moved by that whole show. It was very heavy for me.
My only question is, as we're being so judgmental and not saying, yo, that man is sick, that man needs help, that
Nobody
man
gives a about that. If that was your daughter, that not sick, he's dead.
We can talk about the cycle of abuse, but we also have to talk about accountability and the ways in which America has not held abusers accountable.
Within the conference,
the recent allegations against entertainer R. Kelly and the recent Lifetime documentary series are deeply, deeply disturbing. Victims of sexual assault, please come forward.
Isn't that something? Yes, Sheena, 19. Victims of sexual assault, please come forward. If I'm not mistaken, well, wait, I'm gonna whisper this. If I'm not mistaken, R. Kelly is a victim of sexual assault. There's a little secret for y'all. Don't y'all tell nobody. R. Kelly was a victim of sexual assault. Don't y'all tell nobody I told you. But R. Kelly was forced to fuck his own sister at 8 years old until the time he was out of the house, which was like 17. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that, baby. That's a song he got too. It's cold as hell. That I'm stroking your body. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine the psychological abuse, not having no therapy. Imagine the mental abuse the toll that it takes on your mind and how you think, how you act, how fucked up your head is to be introduced to not just sex, but repeatedly having to have sex, forced to have sex with your older sister until you damn near grown. Imagine that. And he is not, and not one time have I heard a motherfucker say, oh, this dude's a victim. Not once. Thank you, CJ Gunn. Please click the like, click the subscribe button. Appreciate it. And if you feel it kind enough in your heart, click that donate button. I got bills to pay. Shit.
Days after the documentary airs, he's celebrating at a nightclub.
Hey, y'all don't know it's my birthday and I don't give a what's going on tonight.
RCA dropping him from the label
Everything in that documentary was a rehash of things they've known for years, and everybody rejected it.
R. Kelly turned himself into Chicago police Friday night. He is being charged with 10 counts of felony sexual abuse.
Prosecutors say 3 of the 4 alleged victims were underage. He's pleaded not guilty.
I was a part of a suicide pact. If he was to go to jail, I was supposed to kill myself.
I promise you, we're going to straighten all this stuff out. That's all I can say right now. I promise you.
The new charges against Kelly came after a video surfaced reportedly showing Kelly having sex with a girl who was 14 years old at the time.
The trial in 2008 was reduced to one girl on one videotape, but there always was talk of other tapes.
Earlier today, we handed over a second video.
Now, for those of y'all motherfuckers don't know who this dude was, this dude's a straight up fucking shakedown artist that he was doing so much bogus shit. He was trying to literally shake down Nike and they caught his ass. That's why you ain't seen him no more. That motherfucker, he done did the Homer Simpson. You know when Homer Simpson fade into the bushes like that and you don't see his ass no more? He literally did a Homer Simpson. He was such a fucking crook. He was doing so much fuckery. I mean, literally just trying to extort companies. And he was trying to extort Nike and they caught his ass. And that motherfucker is now completely out of the picture. I believe he's either being prosecuted or he's already been prosecuted, but they got his ass on extortion. Facts. Cold-hearted facts. This motherfucker here, who was supposed to be the new ringleader of this new case, we gonna get him, guys. Come on, follow me. We got him. R. Kelly is going down. FBI, the feds. Mr. Avenatti, can you please step out here and come have a conversation with us? Yes. We've seen you doing some nefarious things. We have documentation and information that supports what we've seen. And yeah. That's what happened to this dude.
Tape to prosecutors.
There are multiple tapes, multiple jurisdictions, and the victim is quiet.
At the premiere, somebody had called in a gun threat. People started DMing me and said, count your days.
His manager threatened to kill my whole entire family.
This is intimidation and retaliation.
R. Kelly believes he can fly and that he's untouchable.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Milk R. Kelly!
R. Kelly has been arrested on sex trafficking charges.
Free R. Kelly! Anybody who goes against them, they go against you.
I think the interview with Gayle King showed how he really is.
Yo, killing me with this.
Now that shit right there was hilarious. That nigga was, I really see why R. Kelly never took to the silver screen. He never really did any movies. He just stuck to videos. That shit he tried to do on that Gayle King show, that shit was terrible. It was Charles Barkley terrible. I couldn't believe he jumped up out the scene like, y'all killing me with this shit. This is my life. Y'all killing me. Man, this camera or this one? Which one? That's pretty much what he could have did. It was like he was thinking about that shit all night. Like, I'm going to have a spot where I get up real angry. I'm not going to be angry, but I'm going to cry. Be angry, do an angry cry thing. And then my voice get real high-pitched. And then, hopefully, that'll sell the crowd and get them on my side. No, nigga, that don't work. And Gayle King was sitting there like, niggas, you really trying to perform like this right now on this interview here? This what you really trying to do? He jumped up out the camera and make it seem like it was all authentic. It was like, y'all killing me with this. This is my life. What is going on? Why y'all doing this? Terrible. End scene.
A 40 billion loving me. That's right. You know what I'm saying? I am handcuffed like a lot of you. I'm handcuffed by my destiny. It's too late. They should have did it 30 years ago. It's too late.
Real talk. Real talk. They should have done this back then, but you know why they didn't do it? Because he was the hit maker. And another one. He was like DJ Khaled is today. He was and another one. And another one. And another one. He was such a cash cow for Jive Records. He was a cash cow for RCA. He was a cash cow for all of those record labels that was tied to him. They was getting paid back then. Back then, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the mid-90s. That dude signed a contract for something like I want to say it was like $140 million. There was some insane shit. They gave the dude like $100 million because he was just making that many hits. Every album was going fucking diamond. He was selling millions of records. His remixes were topping the charts. He was killing the game. There wasn't no, he was literally the R in R&B. That's why nobody said shit. That's why nobody wanted to prosecute him. That's why everybody wanted this shit to go away. And the other side to that is fucking young girls has been the norm. Hear me. The norm in Hollywood. He wasn't raping bitches. He was just fucking young girls. That's the norm. All of these dudes in Hollywood are doing the exact same thing. And nobody's saying anything about it. So tell me, how does that happen? You want to talk about, because here's where we're getting this mixed up at. We're trying to take what's happening and what we feel is right, and we're trying to just apply what we feel is right to one person, or to two people, or to this group of people we don't like right now. We used to like them back then, but we don't like them right now. So now we're going to apply this, what we feel is right, to this person. How you do that and think that what you're doing is righteous or what you're doing is just, I have no idea. I have no idea, because that's exactly what's trying to be said here. You're talking about a culture of young women being with older men, young women doing whatever it takes to get in the limelight, getting on their backs, getting on their fronts, getting on their knees. They're doing it because they want in. And now for those people that are saying, well, it shouldn't be like that. Exactly. And if it shouldn't be like that, you know why it's like that? Because women ain't creating their own Hollywood. That's why it ain't like that. Women are trying to take over and trying to take part in a male-dominant business. Start your own shit. Y'all should have had Oprah. Y'all should have had Oprah and women like Oprah doing their thing in Hollywood 30 years ago. But you know what? Even Oprah was kowtowing down and bowing down to fucking the Harvey Weinsteins and to everybody else's that were the big wigs in Hollywood. That's just the fact of it. You can paint it however you want to try to paint it. You can try to spin it however you want to spin it, but you know this all to be true. You know it. Tell me when I'm lying. They knew what Harvey Weinstein was on. Hell, your black savior, Barack Obama, sent his own daughter to go be an intern at Harvey Weinstein's studio, his not studios, but at his whatchamacallit, his corporate office or whatever. He sent his own daughter to be there. You know why? Because he wanted in. Go ahead, my daughter. Go and be with the dude. We know fucking all these young girls. We know it. So I don't want to hear shit about y'all saying, well, now the police got evidence. You know what you know. You don't have to wait for the drug dealer to get locked up for drugs to know that he's a drug dealer. When you see the cars pulling up to the trap house at all hours of the night, when you see the niggas on the corner pushing the rock and making the deals at all times of the day and night, when you see that all of the shit that's going on in your neighborhood is stemming from the trap house, when you see ain't nothing but niggas that's dressed in the latest and greatest, driving the fancy cars, going to this ghetto ass $30,000 house throughout the day, you know that the drug dealers are there. You know that the drugs are coming out of there. You don't need the police to come lock them people up to say, oh, I knew they were drug dealers. You already did. Everybody know you see a dude hanging around a bunch of young kids, a bunch of young boys, a bunch of young girls all the time. You know it's some fuck shit going on. Plain and simple. There is no reason for a grown person, an adult, male or female, to be spending large amounts of time with children without other adults supervising. If you don't know that, you're a dumbass. Oh shit, they got Bruce on here. Ain't that some shit?
I know my mama is turning over in her grave. All I care about is my brother. I love you, Rob. Me and Robert, we done been through a lot of things in our life. He's still my brother. Robert can't handle this. He just can't. He can't handle this kind of stuff. Robert is used to hiding with his music, but there's no music to hide with now. He can't get to no music now. To come from nothing, and achieve world acclaim status, to go full circle and come to nothing, that's got to be the most hard could endure, especially to come from nothing. When we moved from the project in the south side of Chicago, we moved to 463 East 40th Street. Our entire family lived in that one building. My mom, grandmother, great-grandmother, cousins, sister, us brothers, all in this one house. That address was really significant in all our lives.
Growing up as kids, Robert was timid.
He was always scared. The kids in the neighborhood didn't know Robert. They only knew me and Bruce because we was out there playing.
And he didn't come outside. He stayed in the house and played with his keyboard.
Bruce was the oldest brother, so Bruce was the protector.
He was always looking out for Robert.
This place is where we can really remember our childhood, where we flourished at. We formed a band. We kids, though. We just kids.
Our mama gave us instruments for Christmas, so once I picked up the drum set and I making noise, and my older brother Bruce, he started playing a bass guitar, and we was all self-taught, because my mama was a great, phenomenal singer.
Hey, you know what, Sylvester, his brothers, he fell out with his brothers as like time went on. Once he got like big, especially once he got big and like was just larger than life, his brothers and them, they fell out. And it was, of course, about money and all that kind of shit. And they just didn't get along, just because I don't know the inner working details of it, but that was always known that Rob didn't really fuck with, especially that older brother, Bruce. Now, him and Carrie, they was cool for a minute, and Carrie was actually in the camp for a good while. Then they kind of like fell off. No, CJ, father wasn't around. Mama worked nights. And Bruce, the older brother, was the one that was out in the streets all the time. And it was literally Kels and his sister that was in the house, which is how all that fuck shit happened. And you'll even hear there's a there's a interview that Kerry does, the younger brother, where he literally says Rob was like doing the shit with our sister because to take the shit off of me, because she was trying to get me to do it and him to do it, but she was motherfucking he would cry all the time. He said this out of his own mouth. He said, I would cry all the time, and then Rob kind of like saved me from it and would motherfucking, you know, be fucking around with her, doing what she wanted him to do so that she wouldn't fuck with him. The volume on the video or my volume? Yeah, but that's essentially what happened as far as why shit went left like it did. It was because of them falling out once he got big, which happens in a lot of families. Shit, motherfuckers don't get along. Motherfuckers want more money. Motherfuckers want to be taken care of, and you don't do it. And you see other motherfuckers making money off of you, and you ain't getting none of it. And y'all fall out. Shit happens. I get that.
That's where Robert get the voice from.
The moment that he opened his mouth and sang, we all knew that he was special, and we looking at this frail body kid like, where's that voice coming from?
We doing all these songs and stuff. We doing these at school. We doing them on the back porch. And they marveling at us, you know. That building where we practiced at, it was a man living on the 3rd floor. His name was Eli Henry. He had to be 60-something years old then.
Mr. Henry was neighborhood uncle. Everybody loved him and looked up to him, you know, and he used to go to the farm. He'd go way out to the farm and get apples and oranges and cherries and bananas and things like that and bring it back to, you know, the neighborhood and stuff. So we just thought he was a cool old man, nice guy.
And then he started buying us stuff. You know what I'm saying? Buying us things and stuff. You know, back then, I didn't think about it.
There's no demographic that you can name that has not been touched by sexual violence. And people don't realize that the relationship between perpetrator and survivor is a
And for those of you who are just now seeing this, no, that is not KRS-One in transition to becoming a woman. No, that is not KRS-One's sister. It's just a ugly motherfucking bitch. She could be KRS-One in the stunt double. If there was ever an action movie that KRS-One wanted to do, she would be the stunt double. That's who you go get. That's the closest thing looking like KRS-One. That's, I don't care what nobody say. She is somehow related to Chris. Chris daddy or Chris mama was fucking around, and that's how she became who she is. But she has got to have some type of genetic code linked up to KRS-One. Oh, God. I got 100 guns, 200 clips, going to New York, New York. I got 100 guns, 200 clips, going to New York, New York.
tricky one oftentimes, because most people know they're perpetrators, right? And so we make a decision about our personal safety to put our personal safety in jeopardy for the safety of these men.
There was ugliness, there was pain, there was sexual abuse in Kelly's upbringing, starting at age 8 through age 14. It was either a friend of the family or somebody, a play uncle is how it was described to me. I have empathy. I think everybody would. In 19 years of reporting this story,
you could strike a match on her face. You could buff out some scratches on your car with her face. You could grate some cheese. I bet you if she had an Italian restaurant and she got her spaghetti sitting there, you know how they come at Olive Garden with the thing and they do like that. She just, but just give me that block of cheese. She take that block of cheese out, just hang over her and just do it like this and be like, girl, so yeah, like I was saying, yeah, he gonna tell me that he wanted to do it with the lights off. And I'm like, why? Why? Just grating the Parmesan just right there onto her plate. Just right there, just like that. She just grating it. You want some of this too? Here, hand me your plate. Yeah. So he gonna tell me he want to do it with the lights off, and I'm like, why? Why you want to do it with the lights off? Is that enough? Or would you like some? You want a little bit more? And I'm like, why, girl? Why he gonna have me? Why he gonna have the lights off? Oh my God. They should have did her interview behind one of them privacy screens just because. They should have told her, like, look, we know you ain't got nothing to do with this, but for effect, we want to do this behind a privacy screen. They should. Or they could have had one of those little folding things, the little folding sections, like they did that dragon lady in Dragon Lady. The dragon lady, I was like, from the Golden Child. God damn. I would rather see the dragon lady from the Golden Child doing this interview than to see her face. God, oh Lord, that motherfucker. I remember that when the dragon, that nigga got bad. Eddie Murphy knocked that thing down. That dragon bitch is like, that's what they could have put in here. They could have put the dragon lady on here before they put her on here without a privacy screen. Good gracious. That woman there, she is hard on the eyes, boy. I'm telling you. Hard on the eyes.
The Chicago Sun-Times, and then at BuzzFeed, and then at the New Yorker. And everybody I've interviewed who knows about sexual abuse says often the victim becomes the defender of other victims. Most often. And occasionally, the victim becomes a victimizer.
That is not true. Most often, that is not fucking true. It is not most often that people who get abused become the defenders of the abuse, because if that was the case, motherfuckers wouldn't be getting abused. It is more likely that a person who's abused at a young age will then turn to be a predator. The young that are preyed on usually become predators at that age when they are very young, because they begin to think that that is second nature. They begin to think that that is how it's supposed to be. And even though they suffered from that trauma and they never heal from it, they never have therapy from it, they never get any healing, they then will turn around and do the same thing. That's just like when you see kids who grow up in homes where their parents abuse each other. Where you see a kid who grow up in a house where you're doing something that's simply just yelling all the time. That person, if they have not had therapy, will then grow up and have a household where he or she yells because they deem that to be normal. When you have dysfunction around for so long and you're introduced to it at a young age, you tend to take the dysfunction as function. You tend to function in that. That's how you function. You're so used to it. Just like ghetto life. Think about all of the people you know that live in the hood, live in the ghetto right now, like I always talk about with people who live with roaches. People who live with roaches and rats, even though they know it's disgusting, it's nasty, it breeds germs, they've even linked that shit to asthma and all that type of shit. They still will live in an environment, in a home that has rats and roaches. Why? Because they've grown up with it. So therefore, they are more comfortable around them. They learn to function around rats and roaches. They learn to do it. Now, there is a small percentage that will totally be like, nope, I can't do it. I got to get the fuck out of here. I can't stay at my auntie house no more. I can't stay at my uncle's house no more because he got too many roaches, too many rats. Or I'm just totally disgusted and afraid of roaches and rats. That's all I'm saying. There was a time when I was a kid when we had roaches. My mama lost her mind. She had Orkin come out. She had the exterminators keep coming until they was gone. And when they was gone, she was like a fucking Nazi. Don't you eat shit and leave it. Don't you leave a dish in the sink. You will wash dishes or your ass will be on punishment or I will whoop your ass. If I come home and you ain't washed dishes, I will wake your ass up. I can't tell you how many times my mama woke my little black ass up at 9, 10 years old at 4:30 in the morning when she got up to go to work to get me to get my black ass up and wash them dishes. Wake your ass up, wash them dishes. Don't you go back to sleep until they done. But mama, I didn't wash the dishes because the sink was the dry dishes was. Put the motherfucking clean dishes up. Wash them dishes. But mama, there's so many dishes that it's gonna fill up the sink again. Then dry the motherfucking dishes that's in the rack. Put them up and put the other ones in there that's wet. If you run out of space, you dry them motherfuckers off too and put them up. I'm telling you, that's what it was. My mama was on our ass with that shit. Changed her life because she ain't never had roaches, and the one time she got them, she got rid of them. She couldn't function in that shit. That's it. And that's what happens when you have people like this. They get abused at a very young age and shit goes left and they never ever get counseling for it. They never get rehabbed from it. They never get it processed properly. They never go through that pain and through that hurt and through that trauma. So what do? They internalize it and then they actually begin to exhibit the shit that they've learned. That's a fucking fact. So I don't know what the fuck he was programmed to come and say, but at the end of the day, that ain't what motherfuckers do.
Is that what happened with Kelly?
Robert knew Mr. Henry before me and Bruce did. And one day, when me, Bruce, and Robert, we went over his house, and we sitting there. You gonna put your clothes on, Mr. Henry? He was in his black boxers or whatever. But when he turned around, he had pulled his private part out of his underwear and was holding it in his hand. Me, Bruce, and Robert ran over each other, trying to get out the house. I'm running, Robert grabbing me, pulling me back. I'm grabbing him, pulling him back. Bruce we literally fought for our life to get out that house. And we can hear Mr. Henry, "Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody."
He did identify.
Now, I ain't never heard that shit before. But that lets you know what kind of fucked up shit that they was growing up in. And it takes us back to what, Soto Nation? Fathers. Had them boys had a father to go to when that shit happened, maybe old Mr. Henry would have got fucked up or would have got his life snatched from him. Had those boys had a father to go to, maybe Robert's sister wouldn't have been able to do what she was doing to him. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor, Fatherless America. If you have not seen it, you need to go watch it. It's on Amazon. You can go to his website and you can watch it. TJKOC.com and you can go see it. Rent the movie, buy the movie, go see it.
Identified the man that abused him. He said, "I was so afraid because I was so little. He would take me out in the field and he told me, 'Robert, you can't tell anybody, otherwise I'm a cooked goose.'" It was so heartbreaking because you're hearing a grown man speak as if he was still 6, 7, 8 years old.
One day Robert ran home. Mr. Henry had Robert come upstairs and he tried some inappropriate things with Robert. Okay, my mother called the police.
The police came through and there's a lot of guys in the neighborhood and blood came everywhere until the police got there. When the police got there, they act like that they wasn't even there. They just turned their back and let the guys finish beating them before they took them off to jail. I'll never forget that.
Mr. Henry bonded out and was able to bribe my mom, gave my mom $5,000 for her not to come to court. And she didn't come to court.
Like I said, it's my first time you, first time me. Did you just hear that fuck shit right there? Did you hear that fuck shit right there? So they caught this dude. The motherfuckers in the neighborhood whooped this dude's ass. They took him to jail. The mom knew. And what the fuck did she do? She took the money. She took the $5,000 and didn't go to court after what he apparently did to her son. Now, back then in the late 80s, early 90s, $5 grand was a good amount of money to have. But is it worth your son? Hell no.
I don't have any ill will for my mom because I know she was struggling. But if it had been my child, I don't think no amount of money would have made me not prosecute that dude. Simple and plain.
Look, Amber, $5,000 it wasn't that much back then. In the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, $5,000 was a decent amount, but it wasn't a lot of money. Like, shit, I can go change my life with $5 grand. No. That's and just, I mean, when you just, if you really want to just like quantify what a lot of money is when you can change your lifestyle. Not so you talk, people get $5,000 back on income tax return. Watch all these motherfucking hood rats in motherfucking February, in January and February. Watch how they all get they get anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000. Most of these hoes that ain't working and living off the government, they getting 5 to 10 racks and ain't changing their situations. So that's not a lot of money. Now, maybe back then, $15,000, $20,000, you can go get you in the late 80s, early 90s, you can go buy you a house in a decent neighborhood, that amount of money. That's a good down payment and then some extra. But you talking about that, when you talking about what's a lot of money is something that's changed, that where you can change your life. I can change my living situation. I can take this amount of money. If I'm living in the hood, in the ghetto, $5,000 ain't getting me out the ghetto. $10,000 ain't getting me out the ghetto. 50 or 60? Yeah. 100,000? Yep, I can move out. But $5,000? You can't do shit with that. Now, maybe back in the 60s or the 70s, you could do something with 5 racks. But in the late 80s, 88, 89, in the 90s, you ain't doing too much with $5 grand. Right. $10,000 in a home back in 77. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying. $5,000, that ain't shit. And my thing is this. This is for your son. Why wouldn't you get your son out of this environment or out of this neighborhood? If you can't do that, why not eliminate the threat? Because I'm sure Mr. Henry didn't just do that to R. Kelly. I'm sure there were plenty of other R. Kellys that Mr. Henry had been doing that to for years. Just like the guy, his brother said, he was going to get food. What was he doing? Food, fruit, getting all this shit, giving it to the kids, giving it to the parents. And they're like, oh, Mr. Henry's so nice. Mr. Henry's so nice. And all the while, Mr. Henry wasn't doing nothing but inching his way closer and closer to your kids by giving your dumb ass free shit. Fuck out my face on the internet.
I probably would have had to prosecute him and get him off the street so I couldn't get to him. You do something like that to my child. For years and years, I thought that I was dreaming. My brother Kerry started saying things, and then Robert started saying things. He started saying things in his, I admit a family member touched me from a child to the age 14. He says, I admit that he'd been touched till he was 14. Mr. Henry was like, that's one thing. That's one thing. But there was someone else too. There was someone else.
Is he gonna say it?
We were kids.
Come on and tell it.
It was a can't do this.
Come on and tell it. Bruce didn't tell it. It was his sister. Damn it.
At 8 or 9 years of age, you talk in the book about how exposed you were to sex. There were adults who were coming on to you even when you were a child. What did that do to you to be exposed to sex at that early age?
It's a generational curse because as I grew up, I would ask a whole lot of people that I had met, have they ever been, you know, and they would say, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have. And yes, I was molested when I was from 7 on to maybe 13, 14 or something like that.
Where's his victim card? Where's his get out of jail, I was a molested or abused to card at? We gave one to Cyntoia Brown. We gave one to every woman that has ever said it. How come he don't get the I've been abused to card to get out of jail free? Why is it that R. Kelly is the only one that gets the do not pass go, do not collect $200, go to jail, go directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200? Why is he the only one that gets that treatment? And he has said it, his brothers have said it, it's a known fact that it happened. Why doesn't he get the pass? I don't understand. Somebody please explain that to me. Somebody please explain to me why R. Kelly doesn't get the I was abused pass. Why doesn't he get that? Because it ain't never been a disqualifier if you got money. It ain't never been a disqualifier if you broke as shit. It ain't never been a disqualifier if you did the shit yourself. If you say I got abused too, they let your ass go. So why is all of these people, or why are all of these people steady trying to tear him down, steadily trying to destroy him, take his money, take his fame, mute him, everything that he's ever done, you want to tear it all down. Why is it happening to him? And he is clearly stated on several occasions, and it's a proven fact that he was abused too. I'll wait, as Cat Williams would say. Never in all of niggerdom has something like this ever occurred with a woman and she ain't got the pass. And all I'm doing is asking for people to call the same shit they've been calling the other way, to call it both ways. We all equal, right? Right? We all equal. Men and women are alike. We the same. Anything a woman can do, a man can do. Anything a man can do, a woman can do. We all supposed to be treated fairly, right? So how come he's not getting the pass? Why do we overlook this particular thing with this particular person time and time and time and time again? Cyntoia Brown shot a sleeping man in the back of the head, and after she shot him, she robbed him and then went back to her pimp named Slickback. And she said, I was abused. He purchased me for sex. Bitch, you sold him pussy and he didn't even fuck. And you shot him in the back of the head and stole his money, his car, his clothes, his gun. You stole all his shit. What fucking abused person does that? I'm going to kill you, but after I kill you, I'm going to take all your shit. And then I'm going to go back to my pimp. Not I'm going to go to the police station. Not I'm going to go call the authorities. Not let me find the police. Help me, please. Help me. Help me. Help me, sir. Please help me. I'm not going to run outside and knock on the neighbors' doors and scream and yell. Nope. I'm going to shoot your ass in silence. Take your shit. Hop in your car and ride around with my friend and my pimp. What abused person does that? And what did you have? Kim Kardashian, you had what's the Live Your Life chick? You had her, you had motherfucking T.I., you had all these motherfucking hood celebrities, all these motherfucking A-list celebrities go out and support to get this bitch free. Give us free for Cyntoia Brown, even though she's a cold-blooded murderer. And you chalked it up to what? What was the excuse as to why she did the fuckery she did? She was abused. She was sex trafficked. There it is. There you go. She got off. She got out. Clemency. Clemency for a cold-blooded murder.
People in my family.
Mr. Henry was one thing, but there was someone else too. The person that did it is not that much older than we are. Was just a kid herself. She was just a kid.
Tell it,
I was 6 years old when it first happened. I was 6 years old. She pushed me down on the bed, and she started like unzipping my pants and stuff, and and I'm crying, and I'm begging her to please stop doing that because I don't feel right. I don't feel right. And then she climbed on top of me. I would make believe that I was somewhere else. Doing things the kids supposed to be doing at that age, you know? That was just with me, but then there would be times that she would make Robert stay in the house. I remember one time hearing Bruce and Robert talking about girls. Bruce said, Robert, man, you ain't never had no girl. He said, and I have. And he said it proud. I think he enjoyed it. You know how a parent be able to tell that their child is out there having sex because they're getting smart at the mouth. They think they know it all now. And it happens all of a sudden, It's not no thing that builds up overnight. I think it affected him in more ways than we all know. The things that happened to me and Robert was just a so real situation where I felt like, oh my God, I just want to die.
Here's the thing with this. It's not that he liked it and that he wanted it. It's a kid. You can train a kid to do a certain thing and they will take to it because most kids want to please adults. They want to be included with the in crowd. And if you're telling a kid that this is the right thing to do, this is a good thing to do, it's a fun thing, it's okay, everybody does it. That's how a kid gets acclimated to that lifestyle. That's why so many pedophiles, that's why they go after young kids, because you can coach them, train them, teach them how to do whatever at a young age to where it's second nature to them. They think that it's the thing to do. It's okay. Everybody does it. How many times do you hear kids say that have been molested and they tell their stories as adults? They try to make them afraid. Say, if you tell somebody, I'll hurt your parents. If you tell somebody, they'll take you away. It's okay. Everybody does it. They just don't talk about it. It's our little secret and it makes me happy. So if you do it, it'll make me happy. I'll buy you this. I'll give you that. And that's what they do. Some kids have the innate ability to resist. The majority of people won't. Case in point, look at all of the fuck shit that goes on in our neighborhoods. How many people take kindly or take likely to the fact that when shit is going bad in the neighborhood, you overlook it? You don't say shit about it. You know why? Because you're predisposed to it. You get conditioned to it. People shooting in your neighborhood. Do you realize that I got conditioned to the point where I heard gunshots and I won't even get alarmed? I wouldn't get alarmed at a gunshot unless it was very close by. Like it had to be on my block. I clearly remember sitting out on the porch, talking with my friends. We hanging out, we drinking, whatever we doing, chit-chatting, laughing, playing the duck. We doing all of that, and in the midst, we'll just hear, pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow. And our response would be, damn, them niggas wilding tonight, huh? Ooh, who was that? Was that over on Wallace? Yeah, that sounds like that's on Wallace. It's crazy. Well, them niggas getting it. Clearly, I remember this. True as shit. We at the park playing baseball. I clearly remember seeing my mama walking from the train station, walking down 123rd Street. I see these niggas that I grew up with, went to grammar school with, everything. They literally are shooting and driving cars, riding around chasing niggas. I see my mama coming down the street. I run over till my mama ain't got shit but a baseball bat, shielding my mama while these niggas that I know are motherfucking running after some other niggas, chasing some niggas down the alley. And the alley, it's my alley that they chasing them down because the park was right next to my block. Chasing them niggas down the alley, and I see them niggas shooting. Bow, bow, bow. Nigga had a 4.5, letting it ride. And I remember clearly saying, oh, these motherfuckers done went too far. Because I've seen it plenty of times before, but because my mama was out there coming home from work, then I had a problem with it. And when I saw them niggas after that, I told them niggas, I said, nigga, if y'all ever do some shit like that ever again, I'ma shoot y'all niggas. Oh man, B, man, we was after them niggas, man. Them niggas was shooting at us, bro. I don't get no fuck, nigga. My mama was out there. Y'all niggas, if my mama would've got shot, I'm telling you right now, I don't gang bang, and y'all know this. If y'all ever do some shit like that again around my mama, I'm killing all y'all niggas. Real talk. My point was this. I was cool with the shit. I've seen it before. I was fine with it. It wasn't until my mama was involved that it became a problem to me. So because of the area and the environment I grew up in, I was conditioned to deal with it.
Robert's sexual life and the way that he turned out today to be, for a man to molest my brother and to molest him, that changes the game. I never thought of it like that.
Sexual abuse at a really early age, especially from a family member, can be really confusing. This thing that's happening to me feels good. It's happening from a family member, which is wrong. And it's happening at an early age, which I know it's wrong, but it feels good. Someone who struggles with that type of trauma at an early age would be really confused about what sex is, what the rules around sex are, and how should I live a sexual life? What are the appropriate boundaries around sex?
Now, what he just said, you take that mentality and you amplify it with Hollywood and stardom, and this is what you get. This is what you get when you take somebody who has been sexually abused and you amplify it with stardom. You amplify it with Hollywood. You amplify all of that with everything else, and you got the world at your feet. You Tony Montana, the world is mine. Not only can I have a young girl, I can have plenty of young girls. Why? Because that's what I identify with, because my sexual blueprint was turned on. I mean, my sexual desire was turned on at 7 years old. While I'm 7, 8 years old, I'm fucking my grown sister. Well, she was like 17 or 18. I'm having sex with my sister, full-blown sex. We getting it cracking at 7. Let me tell you something. My daughter is 6. She will be 7 in 5 months. I can't imagine the psychological ramifications of her being introduced to sex in 5 months. So imagine a motherfucker that does something like that to a 7-year-old kid. You imagine that happening to a 7-year-old kid. And then you put that same kid with all of that dysfunction for at least 7 years. You tell me how you would be if you fucked your own sister or you fucked your own brother for 7 years from the age of 7 to 14. You tell me what type of mentality you gonna have. Put yourself in R. Kelly's shoes. His sister is still she live in one of them suburbs like Aurora or some shit. She's still in Illinois. She's super saved now too. She's a Christian ambassador. She is on the battlefield for her Lord. But you take yourself at 7. Think as far back as you can to 7 years old. Take your close sibling, your older brother or sister, and imagine you having to have sex with that sibling for 7 years. The thought of it now fucks me up to the point where I don't know what the fuck kind of kid I would be at that age. Now, we just talking about the average kid having to deal with that on a social level. Now let's look at the sexual blueprint of that same kid at 14, 15, 16 when they are just now starting to get into puberty, where they're just starting to be curious about sex. Hell, they done did a 7-year sentence of sister fucking already. You don't think that person would be sexually off? You don't think that person would be socially off? People have always said, I've seen it myself, R. Kelly is not your normal average person when you see it. And I ain't talking about because he's a musical genius. No, I mean socially awkward. That's how he is. That's how he was. He was never, oh man, he's such a people person. He loves everybody. He's the guy that just lights up a room. He was not that guy. He was a fucking superstar celebrity. And you could just see the way that his swag or whatever you want to call it, you can tell that it was phony and that it wasn't him. Like, man, that nigga ain't really like that. You know how you see somebody and they be talking shit and you see in them like, nigga, you ain't that. That's how he is. He could be his own album release party, be the man in the room, the man of the hour, and he'll be talking classic shit that anybody would say. Yeah, I got the motherfucking hottest album out. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all coming out. I love y'all, man. We taking over the city. Shot, stand up. You like, yeah, nigga, okay. Yeah, nigga, I hear you. Anyway, we over here. He's like that. I'm telling y'all, it's a persona. It's a front. You can clearly see that this dude ain't like the guy. He's not the guy that's in a room, and when he in a room, everybody's listening and talking with him. He's just R. Kelly. I was on a baseball field. One of the funnest days of my life. I got to spend with Michael Jordan and R. Kelly. They both had softball teams and they was playing against each other. The GOAT out there on the mound. I'm out here umpiring. Everybody talking and kicking it with Mike. Randy Brown was out there. Everybody was talking and kicking it with him. Now, Michael Jordan, MJ, he is that guy. Everybody want to talk to him, be around him. He the guy talking shit. He kicking it, having fun. He's that guy. R. Kelly was out there too. And was just dressed up to the nines now, nigga. Had a bandana on his knees, uniform on, had all this shit pulled up with a tour bus and all that bullshit. He was out there fancy schmancy. But he wasn't the social butterfly of the event. And we talking about on a private baseball field, all enclosed and everything. Wasn't no cameras out there, wasn't nobody filming shit. We out there just kicking it. Real talk, smoking cigars, throwing a baseball around, having fucking fun. He wasn't that guy. Nice guy, but he just wasn't that guy. That's all I'm saying. That shit fucked him up on a mental level. And like I said, when you amplify that with stardom, being a celebrity, that's what you get, man.
We lived there on 40th Street. That place had an impact on our lives so much, Robert named a tour after it. 60653 tour. That's, wow.
The link between being a victim and being a perpetrator.
Now, I don't know what the fuck Bruce Kelly did where he's still in jail, because this motherfucker been in jail for a minute. But I'm pretty sure it got something to do with some jail shit or some fucked up shit. But I don't know what the details of it is, but that nigga have been in jail since all this shit done broke out. I'm just saying.
Can be overstated at times. There are many people that don't go on to perpetrate sexual violence that have experiences of child sexual abuse. What we do know is that for many people that are sexual perpetrators and sexual abusers, they do have that experience in their childhood. When we look back into their pasts, we felt helpless. When you start to peel away the layers and start to look at their lives and how they got here, some of their patterns of control and abuse make sense in the context of what they experienced.
You think about a child who was sexually abused at an early age, they've lost all control of their own body, of what happens to them, of their own feelings. So someone who was abused at an early age can have a lifelong struggle of trying to regain control.
I remember one time we was just sitting in his room talking like brothers, and he had a poster of himself on the back of his door, and the poster was 12 Play, the album. And he say, man, that right there, he a mob. He powerful, man. He powerful. I'm like, what? Who are you talking about? He said, dude, man, dude that's on that poster. I said, Rob, you mean you? The picture of you? He said, no, man, R. Kelly, man. He was talking about himself as if it wasn't him. I said, Rob, what you mean, man? You know, he a whole different person, man. And he was crying when he said it. I'm getting emotional because I'm like, my brother is really, really hurting. And now I'm starting to really look at it like he probably believed that whatever R. Kelly say, Robert has to do. If there's some truth to this, of this name or whatever this entity is he's saying that controls him beyond his control, then that's the problem.
Now, if that ain't a motherfucker that's crying out for help, I don't know what is. And here's why I say this. Because I know there's plenty of people saying, man, is this dude one of R. Kelly's advocates? This dude, he must really love R. Kelly. Here's my thing. I'm just calling it how I see it. Because if this was a woman that was going through this same shit and did this same shit, why would it not be looked at as the same way? If a woman was talking like this and was acting like this and killed 4 of her kids, we would blame it and chalk it up to postpartum depression and try to get her some help and keep it moving. You can clearly see that this person is not mentally there. He's not mentally healthy. You can clearly see that. And one of the things that we clearly have said time and time, you ain't seen nobody say out of all of this for years, decades, this shit's been going on. You haven't seen not one person talk about this guy getting some type of help as opposed to going to jail. And I find that to be quite troubling, because if this was a woman, the same exact situation, it would be, let's either not talk about it anymore or let's get this person some help. Case in point, Asia Argento. And I think that's her name. Asia Argento. She was the woman who came forth and blew the whistle, was the initial whistleblower, the initial person who kicked off the Me Too movement. She was the first person to Me Too Harvey Weinstein. She started the whole Me Too movement. And everybody was cheering her on. She was the Me Too champion. She was the poster child for the Me Too movement. Turned out, as they were crucifying Harvey Weinstein, it turned out that she did the exact same thing and was sleeping with a young boy who was underage. You know what the Me Too movement did? Oh, they just stopped talking about her. This woman has yet to see the inside of any courtroom. She has yet to see any charges pressed against her. She has yet to see any type of criminal action taken against her. There has been no accountability towards her. The Me Too movement didn't even come and put her on blast. They literally Homer Simpson her and moved into the bushes. Didn't say shit else. That's exactly what they did to her. But she did the exact same thing that Harvey Weinstein did, and she just did it with the boy. She was fucking the shit out of this underage boy. He admitted it. He told the story. She was doing them all kind of ways. She was texting him, sexting him. Everything that she talked about Harvey Weinstein was doing to her, she was doing to him. Nothing. Nobody said nothing. Nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's pressing charges. She has no case. She has no criminal charges. And she has no surviving Asia Argento. Look this shit up. I'm not lying. Nobody said anything. It's okay. It's hush hush. We quiet. We gonna move on past that. Let's get back to this Weinstein. Let's get back to this Cosby. Let's get back to this R. Kelly. Let's get back to all of that. Let's get back to this Kevin Spacey. Let's get back to all of the men that we going after. But this bitch that's doing the same fuck shit, we gonna be quiet on her.
There was a pastor, a lady pastor, that Robert was in tune with. He used to call her for spiritual advice and so forth. And one day he called this pastor up and had this pastor come to the house. He told me, let her in, take her to the jacuzzi room, and I'll be there. I said, okay. When the pastor came, I escorted her to the jacuzzi room. I called Robert, pastor's here. I was getting ready to leave because he wanted to talk to her. He said, no, Bruce, I want you to stay. So he started crying. He started crying tears, telling this woman that I have a problem. Went to the closet with, it's a closet, like a walk-in closet with shelves full of videotapes. And he was telling the pastor, I look at those videotapes and I off. He was like asking for help. Like, I have a problem, you know? That's the only time I think that Robert admitted that he has a problem. I think it's a sexual problem, a sexual addiction. And any type of disease of addiction is only out to do one thing: seek, kill, and destroy everything that's any good in your life. That's what it's after. So if you don't admit to it or admit that you have a problem, that's the road that you're on. You're on the road to destruction. you know. I wish I could kind of turn back the hands of time and pound it into Robert to get help, to get some help. Like he used to pound into me. I love you, bro. I still love you. And I'm gonna still be there for you. I cannot just lay down and forget about Joanne Kelly's son.
And here's my thing. This dude is his older brother, and you can imagine all of the shit that he saw and didn't do shit about.
I haven't had that moment yet.
I don't know.
You can imagine all the shit that he just was like, hey, this is what it is. Because all he's doing is just telling the shit that he saw with Robert. We don't know what kind of fuck shit he done did or what part he done played. And I ain't saying he molested his brother or no shit like that. But I'm just saying this is one person telling his story. His other brother, Kerry, this is at one person telling this story. Not to mention what R. Kelly has been through and the other people that may know things about him. But just think about all of the shit he ain't told. Think about all of the shit that Robert ain't said to nobody. And the fact that he has to deal with that and carry that, that's somebody who needs help. He is literally sick, just like anybody else with any other mental disorder, any other type of mental disease or anything. This is clearly a thing of mental health. And the problem with this is nobody stopped it. Nobody stopped it. Managers, lawyers, assistants, security, all of these record label executives that knew what the fuck was going on. Studio engineers, everybody that knew what was going on. Tour bus drivers, tour bus managers, I mean, not tour bus managers, but tour managers, all of the assistants, the managers, the executives that all knew what was going on and nobody said nothing. That's where the tragedy in this shit is. And the biggest culprits of all of this, as I wrap this shit up, the parents. Because he didn't grab, snatch, kidnap a single person. There was, and there has never been, a single case of somebody being snatched, somebody being taken, somebody being forced by R. Kelly. It's never happened. These are people literally feeding the beast, feeding the machine that's making hits. If we bring him Young Pussy, hits will come. And they were all culpable to it. They all participated in it. They all did it. They all played a part in it. And nobody said nothing. Everybody was cool with the shit. Now, when the money gets low and the hungriness show, niggas is all over Kels. Let's get his ass. Because now we can get him for everything else he has left. What does he have left? He has a library that's left. He has masters that are left. What people don't realize is that the publishing that R. Kelly does have, the songs that he did write, the songs that are still left, his vault, that's all him. That's all him. I'm quite sure there are thousands of songs that is in his vault that nobody's ever heard but are worth their weight in gold. There are plenty of tapes, plenty of A-Dats, M-Dats, reel-to-reels, whatever the hell he got, hard drives. There's a library of music that he will have and that people will be able to use after he's long and gone, dead and everything. Just like the Beatles. The Beatles library was worth $60 million. Michael Jackson bought it. What do you think has happened to it now since he's dead? It got divided up, just like Prince's shit did. We'll divvy it up.
R. Kelly did it or not, that ain't my business. I ain't judging, but I'm just saying those parents shouldn't have let that go that far.
I see mothers in the kitchen cooking, managers, people all around. So you're not gonna put me back there up in the fire to go and be the face, you know, for some women who half their parents knew.
There were parents who knew about these allegations, and they also were starstruck to know that their daughter was going to work for R. Kelly or possibly get a music deal.
It's not unbelievable that some parents will put their kids in that situation. It's not unbelievable at all.
And where in the fuck is their accountability and responsibility to that?
The blaming of the parents, to me, felt a little too... The fact that people came on camera and knew that they could be judged in that way and still wanted to tell their stories to save their children is something I think that you have to be credited for.
How do you save your child that you put your child up for? How do you save your kid when you served your kid up? That's some old Rick James shit. Yeah, I gave my child to a child molester and knew she was going to get abused because I knew that I could have another one. Of course, I wouldn't give my child up to no goddamn sexual predator. Why would I give my child up to a sexual predator? Yeah, I gave my child up to a sexual predator because I wanted the money. I knew she can get a contract. I was told she can get a deal. This has been going on since forever. Children have been served up, given up, put up by their parents forever. Michael Jackson, who would let their child fly around, be on a plane with, go around with another grown man? If he did it or if he didn't do it, who let their kid do that? There ain't a motherfucker on this earth right now today that could give me enough money for them to be alone with my 6-year-old. Ain't a motherfucker on this earth today. Ain't a bag of money big enough to where I would send my 6-year-old child to go be alone with this adult. It ain't happening. And if I did it, I know exactly what's gonna happen. What grown-ass man wants to hang out with my 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old son or daughter and they ain't doing no fuck shit with them? Not one. Who else does anything with that? What else do you think is happening? How many adults you know today fly around, hang around kids 24/7? Why would you think that? I love Samuel L. Jackson, my favorite actor of all time. I love Samuel Jackson. He's a great actor. He's funny. He has depth. He can do different characters. He makes me laugh. He's a great actor. Samuel L. Jackson couldn't take my motherfucking daughter nowhere. Nowhere. I like Alicia Keys. She's one of the most talented women in music. I like Jill Scott. Jill Scott, to me, has the best voice out today as far as range, as far as control. She is the best female singer out right now today. Jill Scott can't take my daughter no goddamn well. Yeah, my daughter can sing. She can't do shit with my daughter without me. She just can't. It ain't happening. Nickelodeon could come with a fucking check the size of my truck. Great. I need enough money to where I can quit my job and be with my daughter every day on set. Well, we have people that could help manage that, and they could do things, and they could take care of your daughter, and they will have a phone with the manager that has FaceTime access 24/7. I hear that, Mr. Nickelodeon, but my daughter don't go nowhere that I can't go. Well, we just don't like it when parents interfere with the production process and there are other things that happen on the set. I hear that, Mr. Nick at Night, Nick Jr., but you can't go nowhere with my daughter because it's my daughter. Well, we're here to offer you $250,000 to start out with, and we'll offer you $80,000 per episode. That's amazing. Let's do it. All I need is that check, and I need y'all to know y'all ain't going nowhere without me. My daughter goes nowhere. Whatever you buy her, plane ticket, you better buy 2. Because I'm going to be sitting right there next to her ass. That's how that shit's supposed to go.
The parents of R. Kelly survivors get the worst of it all, I believe. I think that even people who very much believe that R. Kelly is guilty and should be brought to justice sometimes add the addendum, and the parents should go to jail too. And the judgment that they get is horrific. At the time, of course they were not making decisions that they thought meant I'm not going to see my child for the next 2-3 years. My child's going to miss birthdays and funerals and is going to be abused and exposed to venereal diseases. Of course they were not making these decisions with that thought in mind.
And you know what? That shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what they thought in hindsight, what happened wasn't going to happen. The fact of the matter is, you let your kid go be with a grown-ass man that you did not know, and the only thing you did know was that he had a history of being with young girls. He even married one, which was a fact. So everything he could have told you, oh, they lying, they was just trying to get money from me, they was trying to use me, and that's why it happened, don't believe everything you hear. Okay, great, R. Kelly. I ain't gonna believe none of that shit people done said. However, I see this official document that shows that you married a 14-year-old Aaliyah Houghton. I can see that with my own 2 eyes, and I have the evidence in hand. It's public record, sir. You can't lie out of that. That should have been enough for any adult to not let their child go be with this grown-ass man. So fuck every last one of them parents. Every last one of you parents that may see this, hear this, fuck y'all. Because y'all knew what the fuck he was on. Yes, the young 16-year-old is enamored by the superstar. Yes, the 18-year-old may be fascinated by who he is. Yes, the 17-year-old might be wanting to sleep with him. Yes, the 19-year-old may just want to suck his dick and get fucked by him, have a baby by him, got dreams of being his wife and having kids with him. That's what they supposed to do. They young. Your grown ass should have known better than to let your kid go be with a grown ass man that you know has fucked young girls. Period, point blank. Or point blank, period. Ooh-wee. You should have known. So fuck all of y'all. No mercy, like John Kreese, Cobra Kai, no fucking mercy for any of those goddamn parents. You wanted the money, you wanted the deal, you wanted the stardom, you wanted a bag, and you sold your daughters for it. You ain't the first and you won't be the last.
My name is Charles Rogers, and this is my wife, Kelly Rogers. And we're the parents of Faith Rogers, who was involved with Mr. R. Kelly.
A woman is suing singer-songwriter R. Kelly for allegedly failing to disclose a sexually transmitted disease. She also accuses him of sexual battery.
Faith Rogers says that she was in a relationship with her before leaving.
I wanted to make sure that I'd done my best as a father, because I really didn't have a father. However, I did know what was right from wrong, and I thought that I knew how to teach my children. You have kids, and you love them, and you know, they're beautiful. When they're little and they're babies, they're pretty, you hold them. You know, that little girl that I used to rock, I remember rocking Faith, and I'd had tears in my eyes. I was so grateful. She was such a beautiful creation.
Faith, you talking for the camera?
Hey, and click the like. Hey, Marquin K, I agree with you 1000%. Don't sit on a grown man's lap and be in his face or at his house. I can tell you right now, my wife and I, we don't let our daughter do that fuck shit. We don't let her go and, oh, she's so cute, she's so pretty, and sitting on that, because I know, even though I don't know every man, I know that there are some fucked up men out here. I don't let my daughter just go sit on these niggas' laps and all that shit. I don't do that shit. Yeah, you can high five my daughter, shake her hand and all that, but she ain't sitting up on your lap, and she ain't gonna be no instance where she can tell, I remember sitting on my daddy's friend lap and I could feel his dick. She won't have that story to tell. She won't. Because I know it's motherfuckers out here that be on that shit. Everybody out here ain't good people. Everybody out here ain't righteous. It's some fucked up people out here. And they will do some fucked up shit. So no, I'm not going to let my daughter just be up in any man's face. No, I'm not going to let my daughter just be up in any man's lap. Because he gave her $1.
I had no idea that one day this would happen to us. I'm a pastor. While raising my kids, in the beginning, I was very strict.
We didn't allow secular music. We didn't allow our children to have girlfriends and boyfriends in high school.
We just tried to teach her good, moral, Christian values. The same things that we try to practice in our lives.
Wow, you guys are beautiful. We sheltered them, but in the process of the sheltering, I informed my daughters of everything. What type.
Hey, look, he said he's a musical magician and he had us all fooled and schooled. No, he didn't have me fooled. You know when he didn't have me fooled? Was when I saw his ass dressed up the same as Aaliyah on BET. And everybody had been saying he be fucking young girls. He didn't have me fooled when I saw the marriage certificate published in the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper that showed that he married her at 14. He didn't fool nobody. Y'all motherfuckers wanted to believe this shit. Y'all motherfuckers wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I know how to appreciate a motherfucker's artistic ability and separate and know that he could be a piece of shit of a person. I know, I understand the fact that somebody can have a particular gift that is an awesome gift and could still be a troubled fucking human being. Just because you make good music don't make you a good person. Just because you make good beats or be a good rapper, that don't make you a good person. That's that dumb shit y'all motherfuckers want to believe. Y'all know the truth. That's just like when people be surprised that these motherfucking actors and these motherfucking celebrities be overdosing. Y'all know that motherfuckers get high. I wasn't shocked that Whitney Houston died of an overdose. I said, goddamn, it finally caught up with her. When that bitch did that interview high as fuck with Oprah, y'all motherfuckers tried to act like y'all didn't see that she was fucking strung out. When Whitney Houston died, I said, man, that shit finally caught up with her. That's fucked up because her whole camp let her do that fuck shit and didn't nobody say nothing. Her girlfriend didn't say nothing. Her husband didn't say nothing. Her manager, her motherfucking assistants, none of them said anything. Ray J, all of them motherfuckers, they didn't say shit. They should have been the main ones saying, hey, y'all, Whitney is fucked up. Whitney needs help. Whitney is on drugs. Y'all need to help Whitney. Ain't nobody saying shit. Y'all all keeping face because that's the cash cow and y'all want to keep getting paid. Plain and simple. Just like when y'all Bobby Christina followed right behind her. Y'all wasn't surprised. Y'all knew she was getting fucked up. And her brother / lover, whatever the fuck he was doing the same shit too. And it just finally caught up with him. It was crazy that everybody was trying to put that shit on Bobby. Bobby the one that got her all fucked up. She was wilding out before then. She was getting it cracking before then. Before she met Bobby. Her and Bobby got along so good because Bobby was getting it cracking too. Birds of the same feather flock together. You can't have nobody who stay high not be with somebody who stay high too. It never works. If I only smoke on the weekends and you smoke every day, we ain't gonna be cool unless we both smoking every day. The majority of my friends that I grew up with, we stopped hanging because I didn't get high all the time. And there were plenty of them that got high all the time. So what did it do? It caused us to separate because they hung around people who got high all the time. I didn't hang around people who get high all the time. So we parted ways. Great word, Chemical Romance. That's all that is. So it's like people have this thing where you see your fans, not your fans, but you fans of people, and you like people and what they do in their celebrity and the fact they got this music thing, and you try to take that shit as holy gospel and that everything they do is just like their music. That's not true. People are people, man, whether they have great gifts or not. That's just like how people look at pastors. People be so shocked when they see pastors do fuck shit. Pastors are people. Just because they preaching the word of God don't make them God. People are upset about that fuck shit the Pope did where he slapped that lady's hand. I wish that would have been my wife. I'd have dipped on the Pope. Me and the security would have been getting it cracking. I'd have stole on the Pope. Dead ass. Nigga, you ain't gonna smack my motherfucking wife's hand and push my wife away like she ain't shit. I'd have hit his ass. Yup, why'd you hit the Pope? He's that's a man right there. Because what he did sure wasn't godly, was it? That ain't what Jesus would have done. Jesus walked through, what he say? Who touched me? There's plenty of people out here, Lord. Everybody's touched you. No. Somebody touched me. You did, didn't you? You bleeding woman. You are healed because you believe. I felt your belief in me just by you touching me. That's what Jesus did. What the Pope do? Bitch, get your hands off me. Don't you fucking hit me. Pope called her everything but a bitch. And everybody cool with it. Everybody like, oh, she shouldn't have reached out for the Holy Father. What? So a woman who couldn't stop bleeding can touch Jesus and be healed. This woman here who was just excited to see the Pope, she can't touch him though. Right. Motherfuckers defending the Pope like a motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if she would have reached out and ripped the Pope's cloth. So what? You got 30,000 other ones in the closet. Take it off and put on another one. How about that? That's insane that people are defending this dude because a fan touched him. She touched him. She didn't grab his balls. She didn't slap him on the face. She literally touched his arm. She wanted his attention. She wanted to touch him. There are people who fly all around the world just to see this motherfucker ride around in the Jetsons bubble car. It don't matter, Rule Warrior. When you are a superstar, when you are a celebrity, people will do all kind of shit just to get next to you. So it don't matter if she dragged him, if she jumped on him. You don't want to be touched? Stay your ass out of people's way and keep your security extra tight. Plain and simple. That shit was a disgrace. It was unexcusable. And the fact that he didn't have to smack the bitch. He could have just been like, hey, calm down. I know you excited. I got you. I got you. Or stay your ass inside. Security failed, fine. She didn't knife the motherfucker. She didn't hurt him. That's all I'm saying. How many times has the Pope come out and people do that? It should be expected. All those people want to do. And you go back and you watch the other videos of the Pope walking amongst the people. That's all you see is people doing this. That's all you see is people reaching out. That's all you see. Everybody that sees the Pope, when he walks amongst the people, that's all you see. Hell, when you see the president walk, that's all you see. You see motherfucking Busta Rhymes on stage, that's all you see. That's what fans do. That's what your believers do. They reach out for you. Darling, reach out. Come on, baby. Reach out for me. Reach out for me. I'll be there to slap the shit out of you. And I'll be there to knock out your fucking tooth. Now if you see me walking down the road, you better not touch me or I'll beat you ho. I'll beat you ho. That's what the fuck she did. He did. Because she just wanted to touch him. So you can miss me with that shit.
But man to stay away from. I tell them, look at your dad. The type of man you want in your life. You don't. You want a man that's going to love you and cherish you and honor you and respect you. Share your dreams and share your visions. Not a man that's going to control you. Not a man that's not going to allow you to be you and share, you know, your dreams and your hopes and your desires. I've always taught my daughters that.
I remember the night that Faith went to the R. Kelly concert with her sister. Somebody came out between a break or something and offered her bracelets and were told Mr. Kelly wanted them to come to the after party to meet them, of which they did, met him backstage, and once things settled down and they were about to leave, somebody slipped their number to her. And I remember Faith, you know, that night when she told me what had happened, and I said, don't you dare call him. And she was like, oh, Dad, no, I would never. Dad, that's nasty. He's your age, you know, and that was her reaction.
Man, look here. You got this fucking celebrity who gives your daughter his phone number. And you think, and this ain't no celebrity just seen her walking down the street. She went to his concert and got noticed by him and gave her his number backstage. And you think that she wouldn't call that dude? Right. Right. Really? Really? You pay money to go to a concert to see this dude perform. He not only brings you backstage, but brings you backstage and gives you his phone number. And you mean to tell me that you don't think that she would call? Fuck out my face on the internet. Get the fuck out of my face on the internet. Ain't no goddamn way I'ma believe that my daughter ain't gonna be on. I'ma tell her ass right then and there, give me that number. And no, I can't stop her. But my thing is this. You go and fuck around with this dude if you want to. All I'm asking you to do is to change your motherfucking last name. You not gonna embarrass me because you want to do some dumb fuck shit. No way. No way. And you know what, and I know for a fact that this motherfucker has always been about young girls. This is what he do. This is what he's done. He married one of them, Faith. You can talk all that, all dad bullshit if you want to. I know what your little young hot ass trying to do. You went backstage, didn't you? All right then.
I lied to my parents the whole time that I was involved with him. Say I'm going to a friend's house, really be out of town.
Ended her relationship with Robert Kelly. She began to tell me, Mom, I need to talk to you and Dad about something that's very important.
It was hard for her to tell us. I could see that.
She said she had been lying to us on the weekends when we thought she was with her girlfriend.
It was unbelievable. We were shocked. I was just totally blown away. I was very angry. I trusted her. And I believed that she wasn't seeing him or hadn't seen him. We had no idea.
My relationship with R. Kelly, it costed me my confidence, my respect, my love for myself. Seeing his personality flip was enough for me. Just little things like send me a picture of what you're wearing, to tell me where you live, to tell me everywhere you go outside of where you live, to I want the address to that place. It really took a lot out of me. His energy, at times, it would just be really dark to the point where I couldn't even look at him in the eye. You don't know how to read a person like that. And you also realize that they're unpredictable. So you don't want to make them upset. You don't want to do anything to make them.
That's my thing. It's like if that happened to my daughter, I'll be like, oh, wow, he gave you his number. Let me see. He didn't give you his number. Yes, he did, Daddy. Look, he gave it to me right. Give me this motherfucking number. That's exactly what I would have did. Fuck you doing taking a number from a grown-ass man for? Fuck is wrong with you? A grown man don't want to do shit but grown things with a motherfucking young girl. Plain and simple. And I'd have set the shit on fire in front of her face. I wasn't gonna call them fine. You ain't gonna mind me burning this motherfucker then, is you? I'd have pulled my motherfucking cigar lighter out and be like, well, fine. You ain't gonna be worried about it. Cool, I got you. Since you can trust me, since you ill, Daddy, let's burn this motherfucking number then, Faith. How about that? And I still would have told her ass, you don't go fuck around with a grown man because you're not grown. Now, when your ass get grown, you want to go live with, you want to go jump on, you want to go, hey, do whatever the fuck you want to with this other man, you better go and hope he can take care of your ass because I don't take care of other niggas' bitches. You want to go be his woman? Fine. You can't live here and do it. And that's what a lot of fathers need to start telling their daughters. You want to go have sex with this dude? You want to go sleep with this guy and that other guy? Great. You have every right to do so because this is America. I tell you what, though. You want to go lay with these niggas? You need to make sure that these niggas can take care of you because I don't take care of grown men's women. I don't. You want to give your body to that man? Go right ahead. He better be able to take care of you because your young ass can't take care of yourself right now. I do that. And the day your ass want to lay down and fuck that other nigga, fuck that nigga, fuck the football star, the basketball star, fuck the artist, the rapper, the musician, the R&B guy, the band player, whoever the fuck you want to go fuck, you better make sure that they can take care of you because I'm not. I'm not taking care of another grown man's woman. No way. That's what our little girls need to start understanding. That's the type of standard we need to start setting for young girls so that they know, hey, I need to make sure that I'm picking the right person to lay down with instead of me fucking ain't shit niggas for the first half of my life, then trying to get it together the second half of my life. That's not how life is supposed to go. I have a daughter that's 6 years old, Rule. But that's how we need to start setting those standards instead of letting our kids go out and fuck their lives up like we did. Letting our kids make the same fucking mistakes we made and chalk it up to life. That's how life is. It's a journey. You ain't walked a mile in my shoes. You don't know my life. You don't know my story. How about you don't do what I did so you can be better than me? How about you don't do the things I did because I learned the hard way, and you're not supposed to learn the hard way that I already learned? How about I set you up for success instead of letting you fail the way I did? Why don't we try doing that as opposed to let your kids live their life? You absolutely can live your life when you have one, when you can afford one, when you put yourself in position to go live and have one. My daughter gets a job, gets her career, moves out my house. She can go do whatever she wants. She can live her life. Hey. She can go do whatever she wants, and I ain't got shit to say about it because she's on her own. Now, if she can't do that, you need to explain to her. If you can't go and take care of yourself, you don't have the right to live like you grown when you living off somebody else. That's just like when niggas letting people live in their house and them niggas get in their house, ain't paying no rent or barely taking care of themselves, and they want to treat your house like it's their fucking house. That ain't how life goes. You can't be up in my shit where I pay the bills, I pay the rent, I pay the mortgage, and you up in here like I am. It don't work like that. It just don't. And why we let people do that to us, then be like, yeah, that was some, they just did me in. Yeah, they just came up in my house. They don't do shit. They don't clean up shit. They don't take care of shit. You right, because it ain't they shit. You're the fool for letting somebody come in your space and live the way you live. All that bullshit about, yeah, my house is open to yours. You treat it like it's your own. What I got is yours. No fucking way. Motherfucker, as a guest, I can open my house up to you, but you don't get the rights and privileges that I have in my own house. No way. Can my brother come in my house and go in my refrigerator? Abso-fucking-lutely, he sure can. Can he eat whatever the fuck that's in my house? Yes, he sure can, because he's only here for a weekend. My brother want to come live with me? Motherfucker, what's your plan? What you mean? What's your plan? How long you gonna try to stay here? Because there will be a leave date. Well, I just want to get myself on my feet for a couple of years. Nope, can't do that. Well, man, I just want to, if I could just live here, man, until I get myself straight. When is that? Nigga, what's the plan? How many times have people let somebody live with them and they say they only need to be here for 2 weeks and they're there for 8 months? They say they only need to be there for 6 months and they're there for 6 years. Oh, I'm going to go back and live with Mom Dukes just for a minute till I get back on my feet. 10 years later. How many times does that happen? It's because we don't set standards. We don't set expectations with our people, period. Children, relatives, friends, all of that shit. Ain't nothing bad about that. That's how it goes. Because if I don't give you no expectations and you don't have none for your goddamn self, you're going to do what the fuck you want to do. You're going to be living in my house, living better than me because you ain't got no bills. All my bills done went the fuck up. My electricity bill done went up. My water bill done went up. I done got motherfucking, my heating bill done went up. All my shit done went up and I'm steady paying this shit. And all you doing is getting on your feet? Fuck out my face on the internet.
Mad.
On May 22, 2018, when Faith Rogers comes public that she is suing R. Kelly for these, unlike many of the lawsuits that I had covered in the 90s and the 2000s, this is instant news everywhere.
This is exhausting because it's another R. Kelly story, and it's always the same things.
Other news organizations are taking...
Fact. How is it that the worst motherfucking dude alive is like nobody knows it? They all knew it. This shit has been going on for decades. Since the 90s. Early 90s. And I'm talking about this been going on since the dude was at Kenwood. We talking junior high school, senior in high school. That's how long it's been going on. So y'all knew, and nobody was saying nothing. Nobody didn't want to say shit because they saw a way to get something out of it. That's all they saw. What's in it for me? Y'all motherfuckers been hearing about this shit for years, and you still let your daughters go hang around this nigga. You still invited this nigga over. You still went to the nigga house. You still let your daughter get on a plane. Now he's a criminal? Man, get out my face with that bullshit.
This seriously, as with the case.
And make sure you click that like button, people. I appreciate everybody that's watching. Click the like button. That's what's up. Share this shit out.
To the first Harvey Weinstein accusers, the floodgates kind of open and other women come forward.
Kitty Jones and Asante McGee both say they had relationships with R. Kelly.
Prior to the documentary airing, my attorney, Gloria Alvarez, she had received a letter, and it was already a threatening letter, and it had pictures of me. It had said that I needed to abandon these heartless efforts of trying to ruin his career. It said that he would have 10 men that were gonna come and talk about my sex life, or that they have had sex with me. So at that point, I felt like you were just trying to manipulate me, and
like you're trying to manipulate him. It's the same exact thing. You snuck out the house. You lied to your parents. You pursued this man. And let's just say he's the worst person. Let's call R. Kelly the devil for 2 minutes. R. Kelly's the devil. I not only know he's the devil, I go after him as the devil. Then when I wind up in hell, I say, well, why would you do that, devil? Because he's the devil. You pursued the devil and got mad when you got to hell. Come on, man. You literally pursued the devil and got mad once you wound up in hell. Who does that? How does that work out to where now, yeah, we're going to get that devil doing devilish things. How dare that devil do that? All these people chasing after the devil, then they get to hell and see that they in hell with the devil that they was chasing after. That's just not right. What? Seriously? Come on, people. We can't have sympathy for somebody like this. Because I'm going to say this again. There's some young girl who didn't get the opportunity to go chase her attacker, didn't go chase her predator. She got motherfucking grabbed. She got snatched. She got drugged. She got beat up. She got knocked out. That's the people we need to be concerned about. Not the motherfucker who lied to their parents to go sneak and follow this nigga. Not the motherfucker that told their parents, well, I'm going to sleep at Tasha's house, but I'm going to sleep at R. Kelly's house in the motherfucking jacuzzi room. Where you going? Oh, I'm going to go on the Evergreen Plaza and get me some shoes. Then I'm going to go eat pizza. And then we're going to all go back to Robin's house. And we're going to spend the night over there. Meanwhile, you getting pissed on in the jacuzzi room on camera. With the cameras on, sucking and fucking just going at it. Seriously, we feel sorry for that one. No way.
The fact that you would go that far and send pictures to my attorney of me nude, you just validate everything I'm saying about you. His version of control the damage.
These weren't stolen pictures. These were pictures that your lying ass went to go take with this dude. You laid up with him and took those pictures. You laid up with him and made those videos. And then you gonna be mad that a motherfucker has that footage, has those documents, because you're trying to do what? Get money from him. You're trying to blackmail him. You're trying to manipulate the situation to where you can be rewarded financially. You're trying to get paid. That's called fucking extortion. Either you give me money or I go public. That's extortion. You're trying to manipulate this dude and get money out of him because you see the opportunity. You're a greedy bitch. That's what you are. And if that's the way the game is played, I get it, but call it what it is. I fucked R. Kelly when I was 17 and I want to get paid because it's statutory rape. That's what you need to say. Don't be trying to make it seem like you was a victim and you didn't know what was going on. I didn't know he was going to pull out that dick, girl. Yeah, when I went over to his house and I snuck out my house and lied to my mom and daddy, hopped in that cab, because it wasn't no Uber back then, hopped in that cab and got dropped off at the studio, girl, at 1:30 in the morning. I did not know he was going to pull his dick out in that studio room with the bed in it. I just didn't know it. And then once he did, I said, oh, well, I might as well fuck it. I'm here. That's not a victim.
Is damaging other people. He's trying to fix his image, so I'm going to ruin yours, Faith.
Backed by famed attorney Gloria Allred, the 21-year Kelly last October.
Mr. Kelly appears to have been engaging in a campaign of intimidation and retaliation.
What are y'all doing? Y'all are threatening to go public, saying that he was sleeping with this girl and saying that he molested, abused, raped, whatever you want to call it. Y'all saying that, and y'all are doing this for a civil lawsuit. You want money. Gloria Allred ain't locked up nan motherfucker criminally. She goes after the money. That's what she does. Whenever there's a man involved and a woman involved, she goes after the money. That's it.
In the past, many victims were fearful of coming forward against the powerful. Now I think we see a power shift in many cases.
Did you hear that? Ain't got shit to do with justice. It's a power shift. This is a power struggle. I want power over you. I want your money. That's all she's saying. She's calling it what it is. I'm just saying it so that the public can get it through their thick skulls. This ain't about justice. This is about power. I want to strip this dude down to the nuts and bolts. I don't want shit left but a frame. I want to destroy everything he is so that I can have his money. That's what I want. I want to control him. I want power over him because here's why I back that up. Ain't not one of these hoes, ain't not one of these bitches, his wife included, ain't not one of these bitches self-sufficient. All these bitches is broke. All these bitches is starving trying to get paid. Even his wife, she want that child support money. They all want money. That's all they want because they're broke as fuck. Ain't none of these hoes that you ever see doing any of this shit paid and taking care of themselves and self-sufficient. None of them. They all broke bitches that's trying to get paid.
Where the person with the fear is the rapist or the person who sexually assaulted or abused a child.
I had been getting texts through my mom's phone. I had changed my number, but I had been getting texts from a weird Chicago number, and it was like, pull the plug or you'll be exposed.
There's plenty of history of threatening witnesses. First week of January 2001, the day after I received the videotape, someone had shot out the front porch window. 2 years after that, I got a call at home. We know you have a 6-year-old daughter.
Someone, I would imagine, who has some allegiance to him, if not being him. They're trying to silence these survivors, these storytellers, this project, making the threat. It sends a message, right? It says, you know.
Here's the thing. That's a good question, Sylvester. Here's how the shit usually goes. If he dies, the control of his estate and his money and all that shit, it's supposed to go to his next of kin. However, what usually winds up happening is that the record companies or the publishing companies or whoever is tied to him, they will either say, look, we can either settle out of court on a certain amount. You get this half, I get this half, and we come up with an amount and we resolve it. Or we can contest this shit and send you back and forth to court over the next 20, 30 years until one of us die, or we both give, or one of us give up, and that's how you get it. Usually what will happen is that the record executives or the people that are tied that have a financial interest in R. Kelly, what they would do is they would come to an agreement with the family, just like they did with Michael Jackson, just like they did with Prince. They say, look, it's a lot of motherfucking money in these masters, in this publishing, in this vault, and in this library. We can either come to an agreement and say, hey, look, his shit is worth $1 billion. We'll give you $400 million. You sign all this shit over. Ain't no contesting it, and it's all good. Or we can fight this shit out in court over the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, or however long it takes. We'll fight it until it's over, until the earth ends. That's what they do. Just like with Sony with Michael Jackson. They come up with all of these different bills, all of this different stuff. We haven't gotten money back from this. We need to be recouped from that. We never disclosed of this or that. And there's this and that. And it's his word against theirs. Even when there is like a particular will, they will still contest it to say there are monies that are owed. You have to pay this amount. You have to sell off this. Or if you sell off this part or this chunk of it, they will do that until there's nothing left. Everybody gonna get their piece when he died. Just like they did with Michael Jackson, just like they did with Prince, just like they did with James Brown. That's how it goes. It's all a fucking grab. It's a money grab. And the less credible that this person is, the easier it is. When you destroy a person's character, when you destroy a person's image, it's a lot easier to do it and to take so much of this and that than it is to try to fight it. Because people don't care. They don't care when they consider you to be a demon or the devil or a pedophile or whatever the case may be. You're an abuser. They don't care what happens to you. They don't want to go by what's right and wrong. They don't want to go by the law. They just want to get what they want to get, and they think you deserve the absolute worst in the world because they don't like you. Not what they can prove. It's not what they have factual information on. It's how they feel. That's what it is. And when you got people like his ex-wife who just want that money, when you got people like these broke hoes that just want money, all they're doing is this: give me some of what you got. Give me what you got. Give me what you got. Same thing with Michael Jackson and those boys that all recanted. Nah, I really didn't. No, he never touched me. No, he never did. But you was the main motherfucker talking about he did. Your parents was the main one talking about they did until they got that check and signed that NDA. But what was we saying? He did that shit. Mike crazy than the motherfucker. Mike did. And my thing is this: he could have done it. But is it justice? Or is it just some money that you want? Because if it's just some money that you want, then that means you sold your kid. I sue R. Kelly in a civil suit. That means he done ran and snatched my daughter and ran off with her. My daughter go to this motherfucker's court hearings instead of fucking school just to see him. My daughter chases him, goes any and everywhere he goes to try to show up to every fucking show and all of that shit. I don't give a fuck what she does because she's after it and she did it herself. She pursued that man. You pursued some dick and get fucked, don't complain to me. That's just like a woman now going after Charlie Sheen, fuck him, get HIV, and then say, look what he did to me, y'all. Bitch, you knew the motherfucker had HIV. Well, I didn't know. He said it wasn't true. Bitch, why would you take a chance on what motherfuckers is saying and he said it his goddamn self? No way.
You know, I can still control you, still have power over your life.
We've had to move since this ordeal.
We just felt like it was in our best interest
Safety
to move.
reasons. After Faith went public, we began to get threats.
Then my wife received some phone calls, and
He knew our address, and we ended up having to put cameras just circulating all around our house.
I remember one of...
Let me tell y'all something. First and foremost, everybody know R. Kelly is a soft-ass nigga. He ain't violent on that level in the least bit. Ain't never been nan recorded incident of a motherfucker doing some shit like that. Part 2 to that is, call my phone. I'm going to change my number. Show up at my house. We going to get it cracking. Ain't nan motherfucker showed up to a house. Ain't nan motherfucker drove by, shot up no house. Ain't nan motherfucker rang no doorbell. Get the fuck out my face, y'all. Get the fuck out my face. That dude ain't gonna do no shit like that. Security and whoever. Them niggas ain't doing no shit like that, man. They was gonna do some shit like that, it would just get done. I can definitely speak for them niggas in Chicago. All the real G's stand up. Y'all niggas don't get no warnings on no shit like that. Niggas show up. Them niggas gonna shoot your house up. They don't send an email or a text message or a letter or a phone call. You go to court. We gonna shoot your house up. Them motherfuckers, you might get a warning, and it's gonna be in person. And next thing you know, you gonna hear is cow, 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 cow. Ain't no motherfucker we had to move because they kept calling our phones. Get your ass out of here. Ain't no, man, come on. These people are fucking lying, man. Because they ain't got no way to prove the shit. Somebody calling your phone, what you do? You change your number. That's it. Motherfucker start blowing up my phone right now. I'm going to either block the number or I'm going to change my number. Especially back then, motherfucker, you could change a number. Nigga change numbers every motherfucking 2 months. You get a new phone, let me change my number. You change your number one time and you ain't got to give it out to nobody else after that and you good. Just like the other girl. They was sending text messages to my mama phone. Bitch, change your number. Right, get you a fucking burner. Nobody doing all that bullshit, man. People be fucking lying too much. The fuck they gonna do to this bitch? We gonna go hurt this first lady and this pastor for what? To what end? For what? What's gonna happen once we do that? We ain't gonna kill him, because that's gonna bring even more smoke. We gonna what? Punch him in the face? Hit him in the mouth? We gotta show up for that. Shit is fucking bullshit, man. They fucking lying, trying to get paid. Broke bitches, broke niggas trying to get money.
Faith's friends coming to the house to see Faith, and he ran in the house and he was like, they're snapping pictures, They're on the side of the house. And
yeah, because you know that's what them killers do. They snap pictures. They show up with cameras. That's what they do.
All blacked out car. And we run outside, but they drove off. You know, so you're paranoid.
And I'll say this because I know this for a fact. Any and everybody know. If you ever wanted to find R. Kelly, wanted to see R. Kelly for free, we ain't talking about going to no show, just for free, you can easily catch him, aside from the club scene in Chicago, aside from that, just in public on GP, you could catch this nigga in one of 3 places. And anybody in the city who tell me if I'm lying or not, it's known, it's a known fact. When R. Kelly was in the city like that, you can catch him at Rock and Roll McDonald's, Kenwood High School, and without a shadow of a doubt, you can catch him in Chicago Track Studio. Anybody that know Chicago, don't take my word for it, because I'm just a lying ass nigga on YouTube that love R. Kelly, whatever you want to call it. I'm telling you right now, anybody who wanted to find or see or meet or greet R. Kelly, one of them 3 places, guaranteed to run into this nigga. Chicago Track Studios, he lived there. lived in that motherfucker. Not to mention the house. We ain't talking about the house. Everybody know where he lived at. We ain't talking about the R. Kelly house. I'm just saying you want to catch this nigga outside. Cash him outside. Catch him in one of them 3 places. Nigga spent the majority of his time at the studio. Chicago Track Studio, Kenwood High School, Rock and Roll McDonald's downtown. I'm telling you, that's where the nigga hung out at. That's all I'm saying. So if the nigga threatened me, threatened my family, called my mama phone, told my mama that he was gonna do some shit to her, threatened my cousin, gonna kill him, shoot him, stab him, I'd be like, Kales, let me tell you something, pimp. I'ma see you in these streets, nigga. Don't come outside. You let another motherfucker call my phone. You let another motherfucker ride by, snap pictures. Nigga, don't come outside no more. Y'all tell him that. And I guarantee you that nigga would have stopped. Because Kales ain't never wanted smoke. That's why you ain't heard of nobody in the city beating Kales' ass. You ain't heard no niggas in the city fucking up Kales. Because Kales didn't want smoke. He didn't want that. He wasn't about that life. That's why I know this is bullshit. Because that nigga was outside too much. And he wasn't outside with no motherfucking Secret Service style security. He just had a few niggas with him. He had a couple of big niggas with him. A nigga that wanted to get at Kales with some firearms, with some real firearms, with some real motherfucking guns, could easily get that nigga. Believe that. That's why when you saw that nigga, you didn't see that nigga with all the jewelry and all that shit on. You didn't see that. That was shit he did on TV. That was shit he did at shows. That nigga wouldn't be in the city at Rock and Roll McDonald's with 8 platinum chains on and a bunch of motherfucking platinum rings. He didn't do that because he know niggas would get at him. And he know niggas didn't want that. He didn't want that smoke. He wasn't that dude. He ain't that dude. You see that nigga in the city, that nigga got on some Jordans, some jeans, a jacket or some shit, belly coat, and that's it, with a cigar and some shades on, singing and drinking cognac. That's what you saw. That's how you saw Kales. You catch Kales in the club, that's what he doing. Got a tour bus outside to hop on with his bitches and everything, and that nigga was low-key with a stogie and some motherfucking drink, talking shit, singing, having a good time, hitting on young bitches. That's what he did. Drank in the name of love. Exactly. Because that nigga was out and about too much to where you know you could get to that nigga if you really wanted to. So he didn't do that.
It's not easy.
When Faith leaves the house,
it's not easy.
Even with her friends, we're on total edge. We can't sleep. We're less like, it's almost torture worrying about her.
I can recall when we were in New York at the premiere.
I had a lot of anxiety about watching them watch themselves on camera.
So many of these people who did speak on camera are meeting for the first time. That had to be an incredible experience for all of them. To realize they'd never been alone, they'd never connected, and now they're connecting.
When I met all of the survivors,
that look like some real distraught bitches, don't it? You can just see the abuse in all their faces. Them hoes really look fucked up, don't they? Faith was a lion. Y'all worried and concerned about your lying-ass daughter. She was a lying-ass little bitch, and she bought that shit on herself because she was lying to go sleep with a grown-ass man. She lied to her parents so she could go fuck a celebrity. That's what she did. She ain't the first, and she ain't the last. It's some young white girl right now lying her ass off or done outright flat just ran away from home to go fuck some celebrity on a tour bus in a hotel or at some goddamn backstage after party or whatever. They do it all the fucking time. She is not a victim. She's a dumbass for going after that old ass man, for going after that motherfucking celebrity, but she got what she asked for. She got what the fuck she wanted. She wanted his dick and she wanted his celebrity. She wanted to be with a famous person. Plenty of people do. Why is this a crime?
In December, none of these ladies I knew prior to this. Knowing we shared some similarities or some similar stories.
This shit is just like being in the hood. If R. Kelly was a drug dealer in the hood, it'd be the same thing. A bunch of hoes that wanted to fuck the top dog. That's all it is. A bunch of women that wanted to sleep with the top nigga. The nigga with a hit album, the nigga with a hit song, or the nigga that got the most kilos in the goddamn hood. They all want to fuck him and have babies by him, spend his money, be next to him, enjoy the privilege of his motherfucking, that his lifestyle can afford. They want to be with the nigga that everybody's scared of. They want to be with the nigga that can pay for any and everything, that got stacks of cash, hundreds of thousands of dollars that he throws away like it's nothing. They want to be around it because they want some of it. If just some of it can trickle down to me. You go to Kale's house, be a sex slave for the weekend, he send your ass home with $5,000. You like, I done came up. Great weekend. 20 years later, I was abused. Fuck out my face.
Stories and just trying to, I guess, kind of make a connection.
Exactly, Ricky P. That's just like the girls from Girls Gone Wild all getting together now to sue the dude who did Girls Gone Wild. Hey, he made me show my titties and I was 16. He made me show my titties when I was on spring break, and I didn't want to, but I did it because I was drunk and I was so enamored by the airplane that he had, the Girls Gone Wild airplane. Yeah, I fucked him and his friends, but I didn't want to do it. I was just caught up in the moment. And I'd settle for $100,000. Exactly, April. She did what she wanted and got what she deserved. The dick and the boot. Any woman that uses her sex to get close to or with a nigga, you can. I ain't gonna lie to you. Any woman, hear this. You can absolutely use your mouth, your pussy, your ass, your titties, your fake ass, your fake titties, your tight dress. You can use all of that stuff to get close to a man. It will work. I promise you it will work. But it's short-lived. He's only going to use you the way you're using him. What does the Tommy say? Usury. It's usury, if that is a word. But that's what they're doing. He just wants to use you, just like you want to use him. And when he's done, he's done. That's it. You can try to get a baby out of it, but if you're unsuccessful, it's just used pussy. It's miles on your pussy. It's like a rent-a-car for the weekend. Nigga renting the car, drive the fuck out of it, don't put no gas in it, drop it back off at the depot and leave it. He's done. On to the next city, to the next car. That's all it is. Yeah, Snatcher, these are motherfucking gold diggers, gold digging out their league. Bitch, you was out your league when you was fucking with this nigga. You thought because he gave you a little attention and gave you a little phone number that you was really somewhere where you wasn't. You thought you was on a level that you wasn't on. You was literally just a hoe. And you came home well fucked and broke. Or half fucked and broke. Or kind of fucked on and broke. Or pissed on and broke. That's all it was. You got to hang out. You got to be around the flashing lights. You got to see the other celebrities. But then you also got to hit your ass locked up in the black room or got your ass in the jacuzzi room and got fucked on, pissed on, slept on, nutted on, came on, and then that was it. He sent you on. It's usury. That's not a crime.
Connection with everybody.
So it starts and you see me and we're like, oh, you know. And then we start listening to Robert's story. And then the mood really changed.
We're seated, taking all this in, and one of the organizers of the event comes in very calmly and says, hey, everyone, we're so sorry, but unfortunately there has been a threat and we're gonna have to go.
The producers and some security personnel from the venue come in and tell us that we have to evacuate immediately.
I was scared for my life.
I was scared for my life. What happened? when was the last time? And just and I know what this is, but I just want to point out the facts. When was the last time a theater full of broke hoes watching a movie, a TV docuseries premiere at a theater? When was the last time one of those theaters and one of those premieres got shot up? When was the last time a docuseries about some hoes hoeing, when was the last time it got shot up, blown up, burnt up, smoked up, ran up, crashed up, bashed up, smashed up? When was the last time this happened? Point me to the year and date and to the docuseries in which this occurred. Please tell me when this happened. When a theater full of old hoes and broke bitches got together to watch a series that was put together and made up by a TV show to actually get viewers to watch, where they talked about their stories, and tell me when that premiere got blown up, got shot up, where somebody drove a truck through it, got trucked up, carred up, motorcycled up, horsed up. Horse stampede ran through, tore the whole motherfucking theater down. Tell me the last time this happened. This shit didn't happen, man. They made that shit up. I wish a motherfucker, I get that call. I'm sitting there in the motherfucking manager's office. Phone rang. Redmond Theater. Yeah, man, we gonna shoot that motherfucking theater up. What theater? The theater that y'all watching the motherfucking R. Kelly shit in, nigga, that theater. You talking about this theater with these old broke hoes in here? Nigga, ain't nobody gonna care if you shoot that theater up. Go ahead. You ain't gonna do nothing but pub my shit up. And the insurance money gonna kick in. Thank you. How long should it be before I expect you? Because I ain't coming outside. Nigga, what the fuck you think this is? We gonna shoot this shit up, nigga. Come on. Shoot my theater up. Please. Ain't nobody in here worth nothing. There's a bunch of broke bitches in here. You ain't hurting nobody. R. Kelly's not here, sir. Ain't nobody here worth any type of substantial financial loss that would be taken. It ain't nothing but a bunch of old hoes with kids that's in this theater. Shoot it up, sir. Thank you. I'll be expecting you soon. Have a good day. Click. And I would have went back like this. Man, that was somebody really talking about, man, get the fuck out of here. I hope so. Let's watch this shit. These lying bitches. Come on, man. Ain't nobody gonna shoot up, ain't nobody ever did no shit like this. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we now have to close down the event. There's just been a gun threat. And all them hoes probably came out and was outside talking and standing around in them old ass motherfucking heels and red bottoms that R. Kelly bought their ass. And they doing this shit because they all got fucking traction alopecia and a bunch of fucking wigs and weave. And they like, girl, this crazy, girl, this crazy. They talking about shooting up the place, girl. Shit, girl, I can't believe this shit, girl. What we gonna do? Girl, I don't know. I'm hungry. I want something to eat. Yeah, girl, we need to go get something to eat. Fuck it. We just hang out, shit. Fuck that. I can go get me something to eat. I'm in New York, bitch. We popping. We doing this, bitch. Fuck that. Y'all trying to stop us. We at our R. Kelly premiere. These bitches and hoes is jealous because we getting out here telling our story and we gonna get this money, bitch. And they done brought us out here on the network bill. So, bitch, y'all better feed us. That's what them hoes was doing. It's a goddamn shame, man. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. You bitches is telling lies.
We go outside and who are we going to be met with, and how far are folks willing to go to stop these women?
Did I just call it? Did I just call it? Oh my God. Who does that? Y'all gonna shoot up the place. We shut the place down. We don't evacuate nobody. Ain't no police out there, no police escorts. We just shut it down and everybody's now out the fuck side. Wouldn't you think they'd be sitting fucking targets? That's like shooting fish in a fucking barrel if that's what they did. You call in a shoot, you call a school and tell the school you gonna shoot the school up. What are they gonna do? Send all the kids outside? No, they lock the school down. They close the doors, nobody in, nobody out, everybody down, out of the window, out of the view of the windows. Call the fucking police, call the goddamn SWAT team. Get me everybody down here. Bring me everyone. What they do with these broke bitches? Had them outside. Get the fuck out of my face.
From telling their stories. But more than anything, my heart broke for the survivors.
The tensions were high. People were arguing and fighting, and people were, scared, and people were trying to figure out how to get out of there. It was just a lot of chaos. And immediately, the first thought that came to everybody is that R. Kelly did this.
I just made a mad dash to the van.
Look at these bitches. Come on, man. Because we all know that R. Kelly has been known to threaten to shoot up a motherfucking venue. We know this for a fact. This is exactly how it's happened, where we know y'all fuck with Kels, he gonna shoot up your venue, pimp. Fuck with Kels if you want to, he gonna come shoot your shit up, son. In New York. So Kel got hitters in New York that's gonna shoot up a venue of broke bitches. Why? Why? The film is already done. The footage has already been recorded. The premiere has already happened. Why would he go and shoot up the goddamn premiere theater? That shit just don't happen, y'all. Come on. And then all these bitches are standing outside. We waiting for the van. We trying to get in the van so we can go.
And that's when I knew, something powerful is in this documentary, and someone's trying to make sure it's not ever seen.
Now that bitch is right. It is some powerful shit going on. It's some powerful niggatry that's going on in this goddamn film. It's some powerful lying bitches in this documentary that is going on. It's some powerful lying, conniving, scheming, broke bitches that went and chased after a nigga, and when they got what he gave them, then they said, nah, I want more, and I want more, and I want more, and I want more. More and more. More and more. Kelly, I want more. Said I want more and more. More and more. More and more. Kels, I want more. Got me singing na 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 na. Na na na. Na na na. Na na. And he wrote that. You goddamn right. He wrote that shit. Gave Joe that motherfucking hit. I'm on it.
Mute R. Kelly. That's right. That's right. Mute Kelly. Mute R. Kelly.
Do y'all see these people that are potential gunshot victims outside chanting mute R. Kelly, and they supposed to be getting shot? Get the fuck out of here.
It might scare a couple of people. If a couple of people get scared, a couple more people might get scared. It was a last-ditch, desperate act to not have the survivors do any more press to kind of support it any further.
It was already done. It didn't matter. It ain't like this viewing was covered by all the national media. People didn't give a shit. It's a Lifetime show. This shit ain't gonna be all across the headlines and all that shit. Who's who in Hollywood was not at this premiere. That's not what this was. It was just a viewing of the shit that they did, the docuseries.
I just literally just started crying. In my mind, I'm thinking that Lifetime is not going to air it because of the threats they fear.
Why, bitch? You think Lifetime gonna spend all this money and just because they threatened to shoot y'all old broke hoes that they wasn't gonna motherfucking put this shit out? Bitch, stop lying. Boom, 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 boom. Hit your ass with the slick brick. Bitch, get out of my face.
for their safety, our safety, or whatever. So I I just cried so much.
Look at these hoes. They're supposed to be getting shot up. They all outside.
After we were all evacuated from the location, we all went back to the hotel. I walked downstairs, and this young lady is sitting on the couch, and she goes, "Hello, Miss Rogers." And I said, "Hello, who are you?" And she said, "Who I am doesn't matter, but I want you to know that I got videos of your daughter on my phone with R. Kelly." And I said, "Oh, really? Well, send them to me." At this point, my mind is like, let me go see where Faith is, because it was already, her anxiety was high from being rushed out of the premiere. By the time I had gotten to the room, somebody had already sent Faith a text saying, "I have video of you."
Of the videos and pictures that he had of me. So after the premiere at the hotel, I kind of just took matters into my own hands.
And I'm hearing her on her phone, and they're guiding her, and I'm trying to keep up with her. And they're telling her, "Well, I'm in this car over here. Come get in this car." And I'm like screaming, "Faith, you're not getting in nobody's car. We don't know who these people are. We don't know what they may have. We don't know what's going on. You're not meeting them in their car." And, she's in hysterics. "Mom, I need to see what this video is." I said, "Well, tell them to meet us in Applebee's."
I ended up sitting down with this employee, their security guard, my mom. And at the time, I'm not even thinking like, this is somebody who works for him. Like, you could really be setting yourself up.
And the gentleman, he was her bodyguard. He proceeded to move his jacket over, and I could see that he had a gun.
She wasn't hiding the fact that she worked for him. She kind of had this weird smirk the whole time. Everything was a joke to her. Her only reason for being there, like she said, "I'm here to let you know what's gonna be put out about you." And she didn't say how or when. So I feared this whole time being exposed.
Had content in her phone with her and Robert Kelly. She proceeded to tell Faith, "Here's the content," right? And she began to tell Faith, "Well, it's gonna air soon," right? Faith slid the phone back, Faith like, "I'm not worried about that," and she left.
So somebody approaches you, tells you that they got your daughter on tape fucking R. Kelly. Number one, you already know that your daughter has fucked R. Kelly. Number two, your daughter knows that not only was she fucking R. Kelly, but she allowed R. Kelly to videotape her. Number three. Number four, if you are meeting this nefarious group of people, why the fuck wouldn't you call the police? Why would you not call the police? If that's exactly what are you trying to do? You're trying to get paid. I guarantee you that's what these motherfuckers was doing. There is no reason whatsoever for R. Kelly to send his people, to send somebody with a video to say, "Hey, we gonna show this if you do this, if you tell this," unless they was trying to buy them off. And if you wasn't trying to get bought off, your ass would have called the police. Tell me that I'm fucking lying and the truth ain't in me. I would have said, "Okay, you got me on tape, motherfucker. All right, where you want to meet at? How much you talking?" And I'd have been like, "Look, here it is, police. Y'all can come wire me up. I'm going to go meet these motherfuckers at Applebee's, goddammit. We going to sit and talk. And once they got them, they show us the video. Then y'all got them, right? Yeah, we got them. Cool. Let's go do this." That's exactly what you would have did. And it would have been over. Lights out. Game over. It's done. Y'all motherfuckers was trying to blackmail me for me telling my story. That's just like the broke bitch that broke her non-disclosure agreement who took a settlement. She got paid took a settlement for like $25,000 or $50,000, spent all the money up, wanted more money, and it was like, nah, bitch, you signed the NDA. The bitch was like, nah, fuck it, I'm going out, I'm going public anyway, I'm gonna tell the truth, I'm gonna tell the story, I'm telling my story, because y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna pay me no more money. And they didn't do shit with it because the bitch was broke. You can't sue a broke bitch. Same thing.
I have a few triggers that set off my seizures, but it's really stress.
Now she got seizures and she got triggers, which makes it all the more reason why your ass shouldn't be out lying and scheming and sneaking to go be with R. Kelly. Because, bitch, you would have caught. What if you'd have caught a seizure at his house? What the fuck he know about a seasoned person? A person that seizes. He don't know shit about it. But you wasn't thinking about that when you was trying to get that dick. You wasn't thinking about that when you was trying to go fuck your dream celebrity. You wasn't thinking about that when you was lying to your parents about going out to your friend's house when you was going to R. Kelly's house or going to R. Kelly's hotel room. You wasn't thinking about being having a seizure then, was you? No, because you was a lying bitch trying to get dick.
It's not just, oh, I'm stressed out, I'm having a seizure. It has to be something really like life or death.
That's a great question, Sherry. I don't know why the daddy wouldn't go. Why wouldn't they be like, oh no, fuck this, I'm going. You got a bunch of hoes. You got a mama and a daughter handling some possible extortion type shit. That's what you got going on. Right.
Death, obviously. I can't really describe any emotion I felt at that moment besides like rape.
And I would even bet to say that the pastor, he wasn't even involved. He was like, y'all bitches say y'all deal with that shit. I'm a pastor. I ain't going out there. Yep, you right, Snatcher. They was like, cut me in or cut it out.
Age. I was like, this is up, but if you're that up and this is what you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't give a. It took a lot out of me that night. Emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It took a lot out of me that night.
I can recall this one.
Yeah, that usually is what happened. When you thinking about your video of you taking a lot of dick possibly getting released, that comes along with the territory. Ladies, don't get on camera with a dude if you don't ever intend on that footage. If you don't never want no footage to be out unreleased, don't make footage with no dude. Especially somebody that ain't your fucking husband. And because at the end of the day, even if he was to sneak and record, which he didn't, you can see clearly that he was a tripod and lights nigga. If he was ever to release that shit, it's called revenge porn and you can sue, which is why he ain't released none of that shit, which is why you ain't seen none of that shit. The tape that got out of him fucking the 14-year-old girl, that was stolen.
And asking me, what do you want from Robert Kelly? And I looked at her and I told her, Robert Kelly at this point needs to fall off the face of the earth. And I walked off.
Oh, at this point. So then there was a point where she did want money. There was a point to where she did want to get paid. There was a point where she did want something else besides him falling off the face of the earth and then walking out.
The steps, she had a seizure.
But not all of America had, and now people were hearing these women firsthand tell their story. I think that had an incredibly powerful impact.
And if you're just not tuning in, please click that like button and click the share button. I appreciate it. We got 140 people watching. Click that like button and that donate button and that share button. Thank you kindly.
Surviving R. Kelly was trending at #1 on Twitter during its debut.
And this new documentary has been getting a lot of attention.
I don't think it's appropriate for anyone to be playing R. Kelly songs anymore. I think he's canceled.
It's difficult, but
I think he's canceled. What kind of shit is that? So anybody that does something that you don't like or commits a crime, you can't never listen to their music, watch their movies, or any other art that they've created. You can't listen to it, watch it, enjoy it, or none of that shit. So anything that I do that's wrong, I should get canceled, and everything I've created should never be heard from again. But we steady watch the movies of people who've done fuck shit. We steady listen to the music of other people who've done fuck shit. But this particular person, no, we shouldn't do that anymore. Nope, we shouldn't. It should be over. Right. Come the fuck on with that cancel culture bullshit. That's some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And a number of people trying to control your motherfucking ass.
That it is needed. It's saving lives. It's changing lives.
That's still my father. It's a very hard situation to digest and even process.
Calls to investigate the 52-year-old were reignited.
Whenever justice needs to be done to R. Kelly, that need to get done.
The world just like was shook.
Everybody was calling me wanting to talk, and I'm like, this is not our business, embarrassing moments.
I think the documentary was a perfect storm because it was time. These were victims who got to tell their stories, and their stories were so compelling, and their stories were so alike. It was the same MO over and over and over. These young women spoke for a lot of people. If they're the ones who came forward, can you imagine how many girls did not come forward, but they knew that this went on? So,
because the girls who didn't come forward actually had lives. The girls who didn't come forward, they actually realized that they went after this dude. They went and fucked this dude. They was doing all of the shit willingly. That's why they didn't come forward. And they weren't trying to just get paid. They realized that, yeah, you know, I did get pissed on, but I kind of like wanted it, so I just wanted to be with him. I wanted to fuck him. I'd always dreamed about fucking him, and I had the chance to, so I took it. Just like plenty of other, and this ain't just black women, this any other woman that done fucked a celebrity. If there's anybody who's watching this that has fucked a celebrity, it may not have been what you dreamed of, but it was definitely something that you went after, right? So regardless of how it ended, how it went down, the fact that you wanted to be with that person, that celebrity, be it male or female, it was what you initially wanted. So how the fuck are you a victim when you're going out in search of dick? Why do you think a grown man ain't gonna wanna fuck you, or you don't wanna fuck a grown man that you chasing? I ain't buying that shit. That's just like my video I did about women protecting themselves and not being, how to not get raped. Don't you ever be alone with a man that you don't plan on fucking. Plain and simple. Don't you ever leave your drink at a bar and leave it unattended. Don't you never let a man go get you a drink and bring it to you. If you don't watch a drink get made at the bar and it go right to your hand, don't drink it. Don't you never let a man take you nowhere where it's just going to be you and him. I don't give a fuck if he tells you it's just for 2 minutes or if it's going to be for 2 hours. You don't be alone with people you don't want to sleep with. Period, point blank. There's nothing else to discuss about it. If women did that, you'd probably stop 3/4 of the fucking rapes that occur.
Oh, I think it was a perfect storm. It was time.
Watching Surviving R. Kelly.
How can you be a victim when you're looking for dick? How can you be a victim when you're seeking to fuck this grown man? How are you a victim when you're going out for sex? Why do you think Mr. 12 Play himself ain't gonna wanna fuck? Are you serious? Bump and Grind ain't gonna wanna fuck? Mr. Feeling on Your Booty ain't gonna wanna fuck? Mr. My Hotel ain't gonna wanna fuck? Mr. Girl, Let Me Put My Key in Your Ignition ain't gonna wanna fuck? Are you kidding me? Now, if this was Fred Rogers or some shit, maybe he could deceive 1 or 2 bitches. But this is Mr. fucking 12 Play. The lesbian R&B thug, you think he ain't gonna wanna fuck. Get your ass out of here.
I think made a lot of people realize that it wasn't just rumors. In addition, I think what we learned is that it wasn't R. Kelly acting by himself. It would be impossible for him.
Exactly. It wasn't just rumors when he married Aaliyah. That was your factual information proven right there. He was fucking a young girl so much that he married her. That let you know what it was right then and there.
to manage to do everything that he was doing with his career without the help of managers, drivers, security, people around him, publicists, enabling him.
I feel like it was like that first episode, you know, I caught it on demand or something, and we were watching it in the bed, and I just, you know, I was just getting tight. I was with Aaliyah, so I knew exactly what went on. And, you know, my thing was always, I didn't understand why it took so long.
He was finally dropped without any comment.
It took so long because everybody was getting paid and didn't nobody want to motherfucking go after the dude. Plain and simple. All of the motherfuckers that he was fucking didn't want to say shit because they was getting paid, because they was taking money. They was all getting something from it. So they didn't give a fuck. The security got paid, the assistants got paid, the managers got paid, the promoters got paid, the publicists got paid. Everybody was getting paid. The biggest P out of all the people that got paid was who? The fucking parents. They got paid. The broke hoes got fucking paid. And the way Dame Dash trying to sit there like he was like, well, I don't know what took so long. Dame, you know damn well that your bitch parents got paid. That's what took so long. Fact. All of this shit could have been stopped. R. Kelly could have been in jail at that point. But you know why? Because her parents didn't want to press charges. You know why her parents didn't press charges? Her parents didn't press charges because he signed over the publishing from 12 Play to her parents. Look it up. Like I've been saying all this time, they had R. Kelly dead to rights with that whole I married a 14-year-old girl. He married her. He knew she was 14. He married her illegally. He had illegal paperwork drawn up. Everybody and their mama know damn well he would have been under the jail. But they didn't press charges because they wanted the money. And they took the money. Dame know that shit. Aaliyah knew that shit. Aaliyah mama know that shit. Aaliyah daddy know that shit. And Aaliyah uncle, who was R. Kelly's manager at the time, who facilitated the whole fucking deal, he knew that shit. So miss me with that bullshit of this nigga sitting here all somber like with his fucking rose-colored glasses on trying to see shit in the best light because she was such a fucking angel and trying to let her parents off the fucking hook. You want to talk shit, Dame? You want to keep it real, Dame? You a boss, Dame? Then tell the fact that this bitch's parents let her motherfucking ass get sold up the river. Keep that shit 100, son. I'm so sick and tired of these motherfuckers trying to make it seem like these motherfuckers didn't know shit and they all knew. Even her parents knew. And her parents had him dead to rights. No video, wasn't no video that needed to be played. You had a signed official court document that shows that he fraudulently married and had sex with your daughter. But you know what? I think I could forget about it if you signed over this publishing for this motherfucking 10+ million album that's been sold. So every time y'all hear 12 Play, R. Kelly ain't getting paid. Mr. and Mrs. Houghton is. Facts. Truth. Real. Keeping it 100. That's what's going on. All these motherfuckers had prices. All these parents didn't give a fuck about their kids because they cared more about a bag than their babies. They didn't want justice. They wanted just a check. They cared more about a bag than they did about their babies. They cared more about a bag than they did about their babies. And they knew the shit. That's why Aaliyah just said, forget it. I don't want to talk about it. Dame Dash, all these other motherfuckers that did music with him, that worked with him, took pictures with him, hung out with him, went to his house, went to his studio. All y'all motherfuckers know he was fucking young girls and y'all niggas didn't give a fuck. Because y'all wanted to get a bag. Y'all wanted to be in the in crowd. Y'all wanted to be cool. So fuck Aaliyah parents. Because they could have had him locked up back in fucking 94 when he did that fuck shit. But you know what they wanted? Publishing rights. We'll get paid forever. When R. Kelly die and R. Kelly motherfucking music go to the top of the charts, Them motherfucking Houghtons gonna get a fat ass check. And that's what they wanted. That's what mattered. That's all they cared about. So I don't want to hear shit about motherfuckers feeling sorry for Aaliyah. I don't want to hear shit about Dame Dash talking about, oh, well, they did that. I don't know what took so long. That shit was wrong. Nigga, you knew what the fuck was going on. Jay-Z knew what the fuck was going on. Y'all didn't care.
Without taking any responsibility by his label, Sony has still not commented on R. Kelly and his records.
The thing that's different about R. Kelly is he's actively doing this stuff. And so the idea of him losing his record contract or not, people supporting him and playing his music gives him revenue. And the more revenue he has, the more resources he has, he puts those resources into doing the things he was doing to these girls. So you can step in the name of love all you want to, but you have to do that knowing that every step you take puts $1 in this man's pocket.
What does step in the name of love have to do with him fucking young bitches when the parents knew? Somebody explain that to me. So when Ted Bundy was killing motherfuckers, we should have been mad at the people he worked for? That's what we saying. We should have been mad at the company he worked. We should have been mad at the occupation that he had. Oh, so I'm going around and I'm a serial killer, but I work at Walgreens. Y'all should be mad at Walgreens? What does that have to do with this dude committing a fucking crime? If he committed a crime, why not prosecute him if you want justice? You shouldn't care. He can step in the name of love all he want. He can sing whatever song he want. Nigga, you married a 14-year-old girl, which was illegal. There is no money. There is no particular song. Ain't no one hit. Ain't nothing. You broke the law, nigga. That's it. Oh, but I guess you talk about that, though, when you want money. Okay, yeah.
What is he going to do with that money?
When RCA finally came forward and saying that they were, basically dropping him from the label, that was such a huge moment. Not only are you taking money out of his pockets, but you're taking money out of his bodyguards' pockets and his assistants' pockets. So he was very worried. When you start messing with somebody's money, crazy jumps out.
The Surviving R. Kelly documentary really touched a nerve in Chicago in a different way. They saw that he was going down, that this is not something that he's going to be able to sing his way out of, that this was the story.
That's a fucking lie. Motherfucker, I lived in Chicago. I know motherfuckers all throughout the city, and it's the same shit. It was just like it was when they found the goddamn tape of him fucking the 14-year-old girl. Nobody gave a shit because he was getting money. All of the rich motherfuckers are the motherfuckers that didn't give a shit. Everybody else in the hood, we all knew what that shit was. We knew that shit was true. We saw that tape. Back then it was on a VHS and it was on a DVD. We saw that shit, and you know what? Everybody in the hood who saw that tape, man, he did that shit. Man, that's his ass. He did that shit. You know what we said before? Yeah, he probably did do that shit because that nigga always fucked young girls. Everybody in the hood knew that shit. Everybody knew what was going on. We all knew what it was before it happened. We just finally said, oh shit, they got footage of it. Everybody knew what R. Kelly was doing when he pulled up to motherfucking Kenwood in his motherfucking Range Rover and his Explorer and all that shit. Everybody knew what R. Kelly was doing when he pulled up to Rock and Roll McDonald's to holler at the little young girls talking about he about to go to the studio. Everybody knew. So don't give me that bullshit. All them hoes knew when they was getting their girlfriends to come and dance for R. Kelly at the studio, to come to R. Kelly studio session. He hanging out. We be partying, girl. Bitch, you 15. What the fuck is you talking about you going?
There were folks who ignored these issues before and who could not help but see exactly what he had been guilty of this whole time. On the contrary, I also saw many attack against R. Kelly.
This most vulnerable group, the survivors have to deal.
Oh my God, the survivors. Bitch, y'all ain't survived a goddamn thing. And yes, April, you are right. And I ain't hating on her because she was single and she could sleep with whoever she wanted to. She's a grown-ass woman. But yes, she was sleeping with Jay-Z. She slept with Dame Dash. She slept with Timberland. She was getting it cracking. R. Kelly, and them just the main niggas we know of. She was. And like I said, she was single. She can fuck whoever she want. But don't make it seem like she this innocent victim. Because she wasn't. And when she was at 14, the people who were supposed to protect her, her parents, they didn't care. They sold her out. They sold her off. They got paid for it. They let their baby fuck this grown-ass man because they wanted her to be a star. They wanted her to get her contract, to get her deal, to have a hit album so that they can go #1, so they can all get paid and enjoy the life of being the parents of a celebrity. That's why they did it. So yeah, when she was 14, the two people who were supposed to protect her, they didn't, because they didn't give a shit, because they wanted a check. And when they could have locked him up to stop him from doing it from anybody else, they didn't, because they wanted a check. That's why. We didn't want to have our daughter live with the shame of being, well, everybody know about it now, don't they? You failed your daughter and you let her get taken advantage of and you didn't do shit about it because you wanted a check.
With backlash, and it's just the fact that there's anything towards them. It just reminds me
he said Magoo had her too.
R. Kelly is a member of a protected class.
People started DMing me and say, "B, count your days."
I moved out of Illinois because they tried to physically harm me twice at Orland Mall. One of the cashiers recognized me and she started asking me questions, and somebody that was standing in line behind me started getting mad and was like, "So this the bitch from the docu? This the Sharon the bitch?" There was 2 other girls with her and they was like, "Yeah, we about to beat this bitch ass in the parking lot." When they left, me and my daughters, we went back to the other side of the store and we went out the other doors. And I just loaded them up very quickly and we left.
It definitely was.
So I'm in the shopping mall and I get threatened with physical harm. Some bitches tell me at the cash register, talking amongst themselves, or they said directly to me, they gonna beat my ass. I don't call mall security. I don't go to mall security. And I don't call the police. I just take my kids to a fucking parking lot and load them up as fast as I can. The parking lot that they told me they was gonna beat my ass in. I go to that parking lot with my children and chance the fact of me getting my ass beat by some girls who said they was gonna beat my ass because I'm the bitch in the docu. But I don't call the police. Seriously. That's what I do. I'm a woman in the mall shopping, trying to get myself right for the weekend. I'm buying shit. Bitches recognize me and say I'm the bitch from the docu that lied on R. Kelly. And they tell me they gonna beat my ass in the parking lot. I bypass mall security. I don't use my phone to call for the police or call for security or call for any kind of help. I don't call my auntie and them. I don't call my ratchet ass motherfucking friends. I don't call my boyfriend. I don't call nobody. I just go out and try to get myself and my kids into the car as quickly as possible, chancing an ass whooping from some random bitches in the mall. That's what I do. And then they got this picture of this indoor mall and this bitch driving off in a van knowing damn well that ain't that bitch. Lying motherfuckers, man. Why would I do that? Why would I not call the police if I have people threatening to beat my ass in the parking lot. I'm going to go to that parking lot hoping for the best. Hope I don't get my ass beat like these bitches said they was.
Like a lot of just nasty, all type of hate, text and phone calls. I had to change my number.
To put yourself out there and then to be mistreated and bullied and called a liar.
How could people be so cruel? You have all of this evidence. You see all of this stuff dated back to the 90s. And you want to, I didn't want to leave my house. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sleep everything away and just hope that it would be a different outcome when I woke up. And it wasn't. It didn't stop. It hasn't stopped.
Shit is fucking ridiculous, man.
Too often in our society and in culture,
So the fact that people think that you full of shit because you chased this dude, because people think that your ass was lying about this shit because you went to go and fuck this man, and they disagree with the fact that you're saying now that you're a victim, I would expect that. I would absolutely expect that. If I sat and told people that motherfucking Oprah Winfrey raped me and molested me, I would expect there'd be a good amount of people that like Oprah Winfrey to be quite upset with me. I would expect that.
blame the victim and we look to them and we say, but why didn't she do X or why didn't she do Y? Rather than why is he doing X and why is he doing Y? And we drop him normally out of the conversation and we focus our attention on the victim.
The first 3 months after the documentary, I gained like 30 pounds. Like I was stress eating. I had days, like probably the worst days, where I was just looking at the
So now that she got fat or she put on weight, that's R. Kelly's fault too.
phone. Like everything they think about me must be true because look at me. I felt like nothing. I wasn't known.
Still touching that motherfucking weave though, ain't you? 38 inches of motherfucking yaki, and you talking about look at me.
As Faith anymore. I'm known as the girl who slept with R. Kelly.
Pretty much. And that's the thing that I don't get about any of these women. Y'all don't want to be known as the woman who slept with or fucked R. Kelly or was his submissive sex slave or whatever, but that's all you've put out. That's all you've talked about. Why tell your story face to face if that's on, I mean, not face to face, but why tell your story in a docuseries if that's not what you want to be known for? Why would you not sit and why would you say, well, look, I tell my story, but y'all got to cover my face up. I tell my story, but y'all got to do me with a black, no lights on and just have me sitting there with no lights on my face. If you don't want to be known for that. That's exactly what you want to be known for, because that's all your ass have done with your fucking lives is fuck the celebrity. That's it. That's the only thing that makes you any more different than anybody else, that you can say, well, I fucked the celebrity, and that was pretty much the height of my motherfucking life right now, is that I fucked the celebrity. Because if you was a fucking doctor, if you was a fucking lawyer, if you had any type of motherfucking other type of career going for you, you wouldn't put yourself in this situation to be exposed like this when you willingly did it. Now, if you got dragged off into an alley and that happened, I get it. Tell your story, boo-boo. But that ain't what the fuck happened. You went after this dude. You wanted to fuck this man. Whether you was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 32, that Asante bitch, she fucked R. Kelly and she was grown as hell. Talking about coming and going, talking about she was at his house for days and was sent her home and she come back. She was flying around going to this nigga performances trying to fuck this dude. So how are you a victim when you chase dick? I ain't never seen that before. What'd you do, chase dick? What are you, a victim? How, bitch? I chased a tiger into a cave and the tiger attacked me. I'm a victim.
It can be devastating and disappointing to us to learn something about somebody we care about that is so disconnected with how we see them. What becomes problematic is that instead of sitting with that discomfort, people's accounts, no matter how much evidence is accumulating, because it disagrees with a preset notion that we have created.
Lifetime is lying. Women lie too. Women lie too. Women lie too. Women lie too.
So now it ain't a thing of,
wow, allegations should not equal incarceration. Okay.
what the crime is. It's a thing of, you saying something about R. Kelly, so we're gonna say 10 things about you. R. Kelly has a team that they are ordered by him to destroy whoever is fighting against him. I've never, ever, ever been in a situation like this. Anything to destroy your credibility, this is what they do.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Perryman Dunn, and I worked for R. Kelly between the years 1999 and 2007. I started out as his studio manager, moved up to a personal assistant, and then his general manager. The women that I saw in the docuseries were the type of women that Robert would have picked. And you know what they're upset about? Is that they didn't get the limelight until they were on Lifetime television. During my working position with Robert over...
Rhythm Spoons! There it is. There it is. There it is. Wowzers.
8 years, we brought on my sister for about a year.
When the docuseries aired, nobody wanted to listen to me, and unless a popular thing to do. What worked was for me to go onto social media and use the hashtags, hashtag R. Kelly, hashtag unmute R. Kelly, hashtag R. Kells with the Z. It started a whole movement. It worked. Thank God, it worked. It did, it worked.
After you see that look on that bitch face. Boy, these bitches know they be looking fucked up, boy. I'll tell you, you know what I think it is? Young black women, they live too fucking fast and too hard, man. They do too much fuck shit in the early part of their lives to where that's why they look so fucked up by the time they hit that 40 mark. By the time that woman hit 40, they look like they done been through, like they look like they've been working at LeQuint Dickey Mining Company for 5 years already. That's exactly how they look. Look at this bitch face, and this is in full makeup.
God, it worked. It did, it worked.
Look at that motherfucker right there. Traction alopecia, no joy, no happiness, no nothing. These motherfuckers, boy, look like, look like she about to say, yes, I worked at LeQuint Dickey from the years 1999 through 2005. I was on the rock mining crew, and we did rock mining for... That's how she look. Like she look at that motherfucker. Boy.
After
talk about the what is that shit called? The bitch fuck, what is that called? The what's the face, the bitch's face? What do they call that shit? The resting bitch face. Yes, that's it. Resting bitch face. That's exactly what she got. Thank you, CJ. Resting bitch face. Mm-hmm. So why would you not think that your daughter, who had sex with R. Kelly and knew that she created videos with R. Kelly, when you started this whole process, you very well should have been aware of that shit getting leaked, getting released, getting submitted as evidence, whatever the case may be. But you was banking, and I use that word intentionally, banking on the fact that he would just pay instead of saying no way. And we almost done. It's only like 5 minutes left of this, and that's it. She went with it. She was down for it. She was literally going after this dude.
My daughter Jada
sleeping with this
calling me
man.
from school, just hysterical. That it was sexual pictures up on the social media about my sister.
And y'all notice ain't nothing teardrop. I just want y'all to take note of that. There ain't not one piece of moisture that has left this motherfucker's eye. I just wanted to point that out.
2 hours after.
And is it me, or is that not classic victimhood to not cry but to fake cry and act like you crying? That's just like every victim does that. You have to have a moment, whether you have tears or not, to make it seem like you're about to cry. This bitch done did that shit 3 times. So I'm sorry, 2 times. Well, that's the second time. And ain't dropped nan tear. Ain't used nan. She ain't even get, most of them will get the fake tissue and they'll have it balled up like this, and they'll do this because they don't want the makeup to run. They'll just do that and pat their eyelashes so the eyelash shit won't run off. That's what most of them do. She ain't even doing that because she ain't got no tears, so she doing the finger dap. Bitch, please.
After the documentary aired, there was a Facebook page, there was an Instagram page, and they were full of my new pictures.
They putting everybody on blast, and of course, who names comes up? Asante McGee. They pull out my mugshots. Yes, I was arrested. I was not convicted. It's
arrested for what? I didn't even know that.
like they trying to bring me to the point where they just waiting to get that news and say survivor Asante McGee is dead for suicide.
Bitch, if you felt that emotionally distraught, then don't come forward when you were a willing hoe. Just an observation.
I feel like that's where they want me at.
It was a whole page that was created. It wasn't just harmful towards me, it was towards everybody who was involved in the documentary.
Surviving Lies, as far as being part of that, I certainly coached Rob to speak out because Rob is not a fighter. And so that's why this has gone so far. I do not.
Now tell me that come on, y'all. I ain't seen this. And she's saying it too. This is a lily white lady who ain't got nothing to lose. She don't work for R. Kelly no more. She ain't got nothing to gain from this. All she doing is telling the truth. She admitted that, yes, these are the type of hoes that Kels was going after. Yes, these are the type of bitches that he liked. She's saying it. But she's also saying that these hoes was getting it. They wanted it. They went after it. They chased after it.
Know personally who put Surviving Lies together, but I am aware of Surviving Lies, and I definitely support that. I feel that a victim of any crime needs to call 911. You need to go to the emergency room immediately. You need to seek medical help. You need to see a psychologist. You need to get an attorney involved. You need to sue. You need to take a...
Why do the white woman have to come and make sense out of all of this? Tell me why. Tell me why does the white woman have to come and do this? And they say, why? Tell them that it's white woman nature. Why does she make all this sense? And they say, why? Tell them that this white woman's making sense of their lives, and they shouldn't do them that way. They're lying on R. Kelly. Your hoes is lame. Your hoes are lame. Reaching out to you lying hoes, telling R. Kelly lies. You bitches should've stayed your ass home. And then you would have been safe. But you said no way. I want R. Kelly to fuck today. No, no way. I'm gonna get that dick. And you said no, no way. I'm gonna get R. Kelly to fuck me today. No matter what you say, I'm gonna lie to my parents. These bitches got this white woman kicking facts. What?
Like legal action. I believe in the American justice system. I do not believe in the justice system that's going on right now, which is just the public justice system, right?
Exactly. She said it, y'all. If this happened to you, you would have called the police. You would have the therapy. You would say, I've been to therapy for the past 18 years dealing with this. I would have did all. They would have did that. They did none of this. They saw that there was an opportunity to get paid and they showed up. Can I help you, ma'am? Oh, yeah, I'm here to get some money. I heard that y'all was giving out money and y'all was giving out attention. So I started me an Instagram and I got myself a social media page. But I'm here to get some money too if y'all got it. Anybody? Can I get a silver suit? Is Jan Allred here? Can somebody help me, please? I'm a broke bitch, and I got a small record company, but I do work hard for my artists.
Now the public is prosecuting R. Kelly, not the police. Sitting here today with the new accusations, I don't believe them. And I don't believe that I was a part of anything that had to do with pedophilia.
Boom!
What were you wearing that R. Kelly was attracted to?
Boom!
Why did you present yourself as older than you were? Why did your parents put you in this position? Not only were we not talking about it enough, in the times that we were talking about it, we were doing all of these things to put young women on trial.
I bet y'all this. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Did none of them hoes know about this white girl doing this part? I bet, if, as sure as my name is Brian Redmond, I guarantee you that none of these broke bitches knew anything about this part that white girl just put up. And what she said, I bet you they didn't know that she did a part. I bet you the first time they saw this shit was when the shit was already put together and they're like, this is what we airing. I guarantee you them hoes didn't know nothing about this white girl having this segment. I bet my bottom dollar.
Instead of the person who actually abused them.
Day one of going public was the worst feeling. Day one of having my nude pictures probably is like second worst. So that was a crazy experience.
All this involving R. Kelly has affected Faith in a major way. We never saw her. She's been in therapy. She never was moody. Now she's moody.
My relationship with my dad it's good. Sometimes I still feel like sorry. I guess I'm just still embarrassed. I don't want him to be ashamed of me.
Now that's real. And that's exactly why parents need to step in. That's exactly why fathers need to step up. That's exactly why you don't serve your kid up to a grown-ass adult, to any man or woman. And I ain't just talking about these niggas. I'm talking about these motherfucking female mentors, these lesbian motherfucking basketball coaches, all of these motherfucking grown-ass women that be in these motherfucking positions too, turning these young girls out and fucking these young boys. It's just that the boys ain't saying shit. I'm talking about all of them. You don't put your kid in a situation where he or she is alone with an adult, man or woman. Plain and simple. This ain't just about niggas doing fuck shit, because these women be doing fuck shit too. Why is it that the majority of females that are on sports teams are fucking lesbians? Because they having their first sexual experience with a woman, and it's usually either the coach or the assistant coach or one of their fucking teammates. Because all these girls is doing is playing softball, volleyball, or motherfucking basketball with each other all day in the same room, in the same locker room, doing this fuck shit, and that's what happens. Because you don't see the dudes doing that shit, do you? Nope. So I'm just telling you what it is. The shit happens. Don't put your kids, don't leave your kids with no grown-ass motherfucking adult. Plain and simple.
I think my parents, naturally, they say that they're proud and they stand behind me, but sometimes I don't feel that way. I feel like an embarrassment to them. I've stopped going to church a lot.
Here's the thing, that's true. Young girls that's watching this, it's true. They are embarrassed. They are ashamed. Yes, they still love you, and yes, they gonna try to see you through this shit, but it is embarrassing. It is something you should be ashamed of. You went and fucked a celebrity dude and got used like a prostitute. That's what you did. You took your young, innocent body, your young, innocent self, and you lied to your parents to go fuck this grown-ass man, and when he didn't want you anymore, you was hurt, and you tried to hurt him, and you tried to extort him for money. You and your parents did. That's some fuck shit. And it is embarrassing when it comes out. It is embarrassing and shameful when it gets out. That's why you don't fucking do it.
I don't go to family events and stuff as much. I think our relationship could be better, but I think I'm just dealing with a lot right now after.
That's just what it is. I'm just saying. When you look at it, when you sum it all up, when you want to just look at the overall picture of this, the whole object, the whole point to all of this, it should have been one thing: to protect the children.
I was the first girl. And after that, it continued to happen again and again and again.
Now, this is leading into the second one, but that's the thing. It's supposed to be where we are looking out for our children, but we're protecting our children at all costs. We making sure that don't shit happen to our children on our watch. We're making sure that our children aren't put into bad situations, aren't put into compromising positions. We need to be the parents that need to be doing that. That's the problem with this. Because if it would have been the story to where R. Kelly snatched this girl from a Walmart parking lot, if it would have been R. Kelly snatched this girl from Rock and Roll McDonald's and took her over to the Chicago tracks and raped her, then I'd be right there with him. String him up, put him on the gallows, let's string his ass up. But that ain't what happened. You had these fast-ass, sneaking, conniving-ass girls lying to their parents. You had these parents serving their kids up to go meet this grown man, to go be with this grown man, to go to this grown man's concert. You had these old hoes flying around, following this grown-ass man, trying to fuck him any way they possibly could because they just wanted to be around him. And this bitch will tell you herself, I had low self-esteem, that's why I was going after him. That's why I allowed him to abuse me, because I had low self-esteem. Well, you grown 30-plus-year-old bitch, why are you following this man? Why did you come back to this man? Why did you, after you left and come back, why did you keep leaving and keep coming back? Why did you allow him to put your ass in a room to where you had to ask if you can piss or shit in a bucket? And once you left, why did you come back? You know why? Because he gave you some money. Because he gave you a bag. Because he gave you some shoes. Because he bought you shit. You sold yourself. These young girls embarrassed themselves and didn't know it because they wanted to be close to the celebrity. They wanted to be close to somebody. They wanted to be out front. They wanted to be on top. They wanted to be known. That's what they wanted. And every young girl, young boy trying to get into Hollywood, trying to be the next biggest thing, any and everybody will tell you, everybody wants to fuck you and take advantage of you. That's what Hollywood is. It's the overlay for the underlay. You want to make it? What you willing to do to get it? You want to be rich and famous? What are you willing to do to get it? And that's what the question you have to answer yourself. Are you willing to fuck, suck, get fucked, be sucked? Are you willing to sell your body? Are you willing to allow people to use you to get what you want? And the sad part about it, most people will answer that question with a nice, fat, resounding yes. And not only will they answer yes, but so will their parents. That's the reality of it. These parents knew what this dude did. They knew what he'd been accused of. They knew what else would a grown man want with a 16-year-old girl. Tell me what grown-ass man is taking care of 16-year-old girls and ain't fucking them or wouldn't fuck them. Tell me a grown-ass man that wouldn't fuck a 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl if he was given the opportunity. Plain and simple. Just tell me. You got a beautiful young daughter and she's 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Why wouldn't her coach want to fuck her, especially if she wants to fuck him? How many good, wholesome people are in the world to where they just gonna keep turning down young pussy? How many old women turn down young dick? How many old women will say, yeah, I ain't gonna fuck that young boy. Now that young boy keep trying to fuck me, I ain't gonna fuck. How many old women do you know get they fucking groove back? Hell, they did a movie about the shit. You ain't seen no Bobby got his groove back. You ain't seen Walter got his groove back, but you sure seen Stella do it. Stella did it, and all the women and men, all the women cheered for it. All the young men desired to be it. How many young dudes right now laid up with some old bitch and ain't doing nothing but dropping dick off? You know why they do it? Because they don't care. Dudes know, hey, shit, that bitch taking care of me. I might as well give her some dick. Women, he took advantage of me. You didn't think this old 60-year-old dude would want to fuck at some point? You didn't think that this 65-year-old man would want to get his dick wet at least once or twice a week? Come on now. You know better. And if you don't, then you really need to be at your parents' house. That's all I'm saying. We done been at this motherfucker for almost, shit. Damn, did it cut off and start back up? I look like it's almost 4 hours, but let me get off this motherfucker. I'm going to go ahead, give some shout outs to everybody that donated. Thank you so much. I'm going to read through these donations real quick and we out. Let's see here. Here we go. On the PayPal side of the game, my man Brass Man Taker. Thank you so much. Dropped your boy off with $8. That's what's up. My man Troy Sherman hit your boy off with $2. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Brass Man Taker came back with another $2 here for the $2 challenge. My man. Thank you, brother. That's what's good. And let's see who else. Oh, my man Billy Go. He said, not much. You know the situation. Hey, man, I'm praying for you, brother. And I appreciate you, man. Doing what you can, bro. Thank you so much. That's what's up. And let's see here. On the PayPal side of the game. Here it's coming up. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who took the time out to check us out today. Check out my video. I appreciate you guys. I want to give a shout out to Beverly Jones. Thank you. She said, great show, Brian, from the old lady. I appreciate you there. That's what's up. And also, Vicky Meeks hit your boy off with $2 as well. Hey, I appreciate you guys donating, and you're donating your time, your like button, click the subscribe button. It's been a great show. I'm glad I was able to break this down. I know it was long, but I appreciate y'all for sticking through. If I can break it up, I think I might break it up into 2-hour joints. But thank you to everybody who tuned in. Click the like button, click the subscribe. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. Please hit me up with any questions or comments in the comments section, and we're going to kick it off because there's another video after this that I probably might try to do tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then probably Monday. But I just want to thank you guys for your time. Happy New Year to everybody, too. Appreciate y'all. Peace. And I'm out.